Hey. Let's reset this. We are gonna need lots and lots of penny gifts today because today might be the day that we get a banana, but totally worth it. Up the screen, share the live. Hi, Adi. Hi, Erica.
Damn, you're making me horny with that communist life.
I don't know that it's entirely a communist live. It's sparked by many conversations I've been having with Eric and Ren recently, and also a conversation that I had in the comments of Chris's live earlier today.
What happened?
Well, pretty much we had the usual meat writers for, the Parkers, the Deans, all of that, about how, like, oh my gosh, how they, like, they're so great. And they, like, I'm so glad that they let up, people from those marginalized groups and blah, blah, blah to speak for them. And I'm like, yeah, they only do that because they were called out for it. And it's like, oh, but that means they're doing better, y'all. Like, they're so great. And I'm like, but they shouldn't be the face of the movement. They're not the face of the movement.
But they are.
They kind of are if they have 8,000 viewers and everyone is uplifting them. So, like,
I did
what are
get
we
in a
doing?
debate with somebody in the comments before because there was like a whole thirst trap for Dean, and this girl in comments was like, he's risking his life debating, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He's not. He's very much a privileged white man
Never seen
that
struggle
has
a day in his life.
nothing to worry about. Like you debate, like those white men debating never are the ones that are being attacked. Who are the ones that are being attacked or targeted?
More marginalized people.
Exactly. Yeah, no, they literally said risking their life. I wish I had the screenshot still. But I was like, you're out of your mind because people's existence is risking their
Hmm.
life. And this person is making a shit ton of money off of debating those issues. They're not at any risk ever.
And that's the thing. If these people truly wanted to uplift the voices in these communities, they would be guesting on their lives, not exploiting them for their free labor. Because I doubt they're paying them for their time. Only one that's gaining a platform is them. Only one that's getting credibility is them. It's really that simple. So, Libs, why are you meat writers for white supremacy? Alternate topic. Tell me who your favorite creator is, and I'll tell you about yourself. Featuring Kiara, where Kiara's never come up so quickly. Kiara came running into the guest box.
Hello? I thought I can do like a communist live
Oh,
and
for sure. This can you can do whatever you want with
like
this.
we can really put this into Marxist theory, like racist, misogyny, all of it.
Make it prettier, but this is like what I
That's
threw together in a rage. Let's go check on the
no right.
Twitchies, especially after I heard the Mao slander. Hello, have they met Mao?
Now this guy really said that that private like what did he say? That Marx didn't believe in personal property or something like that.
Mm. All right, so we got Rutabaga, Jess, we got everything with Erica.
We do.
Yeah, how does it feel, Erica, when the Twitch and the YouTube starts for minutes beforehand? It's not fun, huh? Um, Amy is over there, Josiah, Dina, Joy, Jocelyn. Hi, Jocelyn. First time chatting. Jocelyn, welcome. All right. So, did we? Oh, we hit 10K likes. Perfect. Perfecto. Hi, Kiki. How are you, my love?
Good, Alina. How are you? Kiara, my the best man on the planet.
Good. Can't complain. I have to send out one quick email and then I'll get back to you guys, but you guys can talk amongst yourselves. Mm,
Hello,
Hi, Jesse. How you
how are
doing?
you? Good. So the prompt or the question is, Libs, why are you meat riders? Is this regarding like Parker, Dean, and Harry and all those?
it's kind of like an open-ended conversation. But that could be one element. If you want to talk about that, you could talk about like more leftist
Yeah, I
views.
was. We can talk about the Harry because I was just on live with Harry like not too long ago.
Mhm.
Um, so what are your thoughts on it? Like, do you think that they're just doing this for, like, you know, attention, or like do you think they genuinely are into the topics they're discussing, or
I personally think that it's really hard to take someone who is a cis-het white male, young white male, that basically hasn't seen any struggle, and they're making their entire platform um, monetizing, talking about the struggles and like marginalized groups, like policies that will affect marginalized groups. It's really hard for me to see that as genuine. They could be genuine, but I personally don't think that that should ever be the face of any kind of like liberal left movement.
yeah, well, I was just, I was looking at videos of them like and people make edits of them being like the four white dudes you can trust, blah blah, blah. And it's like it just seems a little bit exploitive from them. Like I feel like they're trying to like make this brand about like, oh, like we're not like other white guys, like we're different, you know? Like I feel like they're trying to really show that. And I don't know, the way they do their lives and stuff, I don't think it is in a way that's helping any of the communities they're talking about. I think it's just for them to feel like, oh, I'm more, um, I have a superiority complex over these people because I'm smarter and I know how to debate and talk fast and blah blah blah. Like, I don't think they do it in the correct way. It's not really educating.
The chat's saying that you said Dean was your favorite
Yeah,
creator.
well, he was my favorite, but
Oh,
I'm now that I was like looking at now like I was talking about it with my cousin and stuff like not too long ago about this stuff, and I'm like, it just seems a little weird now that I come on lives. I'm starting to see like kind of, I don't know, it just feels so performative at this point now. Like now that I'm looking at it, and I'm trying to change my mind about it because I was the type of person who would like Venmo them and like, sometimes give them money. And I'm looking at it now, it's
mm.
like, do they just see us as people like their way to make a living? And they kind of built this brand off of being like these educated um people when it comes to like social issues. But then I'm saying like then I'm thinking now like they could probably do the same thing if they really wanted to with the other party. They could probably pretend to be Republicans too. Like if they have that much, like
I
I just
mean, didn't Dean vote for Trump? One of them voted for Trump.
I don't even know, but I know that Dean, I
I
just
don't
find
know.
it, especially when Dean says, I know he said something racist prior, and I think he's saying he's like he held himself like he's been held accountable for it and he's changing and blah blah. Blah. But who forgave him? Like I'm just wondering, like did he set that standard up for himself, or like was it people who kind
White
of
people. White people. I've
yeah.
seen it in the chat, and that's like the thing that bothers me so much. Is to see that people that aren't part of the group that he essentially oppressed or marginalized were taking his apology. There was like a person sending him, and I'm trying to remember this correctly. It was definitely over $100, or it was like $200. Uh, he was sent $200 for AK taking accountability.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Can I mean, I don't have to take criticism all the time as a woman online. Can I get $200 for taking criticism, please?
Wait, weren't I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken, but Kiara, weren't you one time on like weren't you a part of Parker's live at one point? Like I think I've seen
Well, that was way back.
yeah, like a long
That was
time.
probably at the very beginning, like when he was averaging like 1,000 viewers rather than like
Yeah,
six,
10K.
seven K. And I do have to say, like, I mean, I think that Parker is, and I just don't know Dean personally, but I do think that Parker has genuine aspects of him. Like I don't think that he doesn't believe in the things he says. Like that's not my
But
statement or my
Kiara does
claim.
know him personally.
Yeah, I know that's what I
Yeah.
was wondering. I
Yeah, no,
always
I don't think that he's disingenuous in that regards. And I wouldn't even necessarily say that like a lot of them may be very much genuine in their position that they are like, yeah, I believe in the things that I'm saying. But there's a lot of things that they have to still work on if they want to be the face of a community, in my opinion. And I think that they also have to have more regards for the people that they're talking about.
Mm.
Kiara,
I don't have a
even knowing Parker, like, would you? I think you would also agree with me that he shouldn't be the face of the
Yeah,
leftist
no,
movement.
exactly. That's the only point of contention.
And
I
it's
don't
not because
even
he's a
have a
bad person or anything like that. It's just like,
no. Yeah,
like what life struggles, like what have you experienced that gives you any
exactly.
sort of credibility other than book smarts?
I don't even have a problem necessarily with people making money in general, but I think it's like how you utilize your platform, how you're also going to maybe donate to certain organizations. And a lot of people were like, oh, maybe he does all those things and we just don't know about it. But I mean, the point would be to demonstrate, hey, I'm literally trying to make this platform about the people that I'm advocating for or debating about.
Yeah.
That's like the point of contention. I mean, he is he's a very nice person. That's what I can tell you for certainty. But I would say that he just has a lot to learn, and I think
You know, something I noticed too, because I used to watch his lives a while back, a long time ago. He used to make it wasn't the same prompt. Like I think now he's just doing the like, why did you vote for Trump prompt? But he used to do other lives where it's like, why do you believe in God or why or other things that I think what doesn't really sit that right with me is the fact that I think he knows that this type of topic gets him a lot of viewership and it gets him a lot of monetization and stuff on it, so that's kind of the thing that I was like, okay, I noticed he stopped making his other prompts and I'm like, is he just doing this prompt now because he knows that people, this is what's going to make him the money, this is what's going to give him the views, and I that's what I was thinking about personally.
yeah, I mean that's what I appreciated back then about him a lot too. And I mean that structure has drastically changed. Like how his content was usually designed for a couple mutuals that were affected by this issue, like letting women speak on abortion or letting women talk about feminism when he had the whole Andrew Tate topic going. I do miss those days. Like not necessarily that I need to be on his platform because we disagree economically a lot, so I'm usually not around libs in general. It's just not my cup of tea. I used at the beginning of 2022, I was more liberal, I would say, but now I'm a communist. That's not gonna work
Well,
out for me. I think.
to be honest, the thing
Mhm.
that didn't really sit right with me too, because I went on their live sometimes, and I have a really big soft spot part in my for Palestine, the Palestine-Israel conflict, or whatever, or the genocide. I'll say that because, like, honestly, how can you sit here and condemn, not condemn what the left was doing when it was under the Biden administration towards Palestine? Like, there's nothing. I don't think you can stand, like, you know what I mean, like there's nothing you can stand for if you're not standing directly against a genocide. Like that's the one thing, like you have to like be like, okay, like this is, I can't even like support what the left, the Democrats are doing at this point, because they were literally funding a genocide for how many years? I mean, for how long, right? And that entirety of the Biden administration up until now, why was there only a ceasefire up until now? They never talk about that topic. Like that's the one topic they avoid, and they don't really bring that up a lot, which is really bothersome, because like I tried to talk about that with them, and I just find it very hypocritical. Like they never condemned what Biden was doing or anything, and they never talk about it.
Well, it's because they have to be palatable, and that's something that I have issues with too. I think I understand that we as creators, like Alina, also has to sometimes tread lightly. Like we also as women specifically,
I'm not great at it.
we don't have as much leeway than other creators maybe, so we need to be careful sometimes what we're saying or how we're acting. We're often like way more likely to be tone police, etc., etc. However, we still stand true to our morals, and if somebody is not going to contribute to the platform because they're mad that we say all cops are bastards, shit like that, then so be it. Like we're not so desperate to make money off of people that we're negating our morals.
Well, yeah, like something that's exactly like something that really didn't sit right with me. I don't know. Have you guys been on? Have you seen Johnny's debates? I don't know his full name. It's like Johnny with a P. It's, his last name starts with a P or something.
No, I haven't.
Oh
I
well, he
have.
makes these. Oh, you have, okay. Well, he makes these debates, and I one time came on and talked and spoke to him about like the Palestinian conflict, and he was just so. He was like, "We don't care. I don't care what's happening in Palestine anymore. You guys voted this. You guys." Sorry, I just got a phone call. But he's like, you guys, blah blah blah. You voted this. This is what you wanted. The Dems are not going to help you now, and all this stuff. And it just makes me. It just felt so weird. It felt so dystopian. It's like, okay, like the only way you would have cared for Palestinian lives is if a Democrat was voted in. Like that's really strange to me. Like you didn't care. Like and like what? How do they know for certain that Kamala was going to do anything for Palestine? Like
Oh,
that's what
yeah.
I'm
I think
saying.
saying to, and I've seen this too. So I'm not even joking. That's the biggest ick that I get from
Yeah.
especially white liberals that are saying, well, you Palestinians, this is what you got. Like, firstly, they didn't even like, even if all the people that you think that were stolen from, like the third party voters, would have voted for Kamala Harris,
Mhm.
it still wouldn't have resulted in her winning. That's like the
Exactly.
first point. Secondly,
I
to say that to a marginalized person's face, I would have never said to a trans person or to a Palestinian person, etc. Those who they actively advocated against as the Democratic Party, that they have to vote for this party.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
It's
not.
just baffling because it's like, how are you going to tell, especially somebody who's lived through it? Like, I have Palestinian friends who literally have relatives that live in Gaza right now, and they're like, they didn't want any of the candidates, and they know that they knew they were a little bit hopeless, right? I know in Dearborn, a lot of
Mhm.
the Arab population in Dearborn voted for Trump, and I'm not saying that's right, but at the same time, here's the thing, like I can't fully condemn them because I think that the thing is they were felt helpless. Like they're like, okay, Biden's not doing anything. We voted Democrat. They're supposed to be the pillar of moral superiority, and they're literally not doing anything. And then it's like, okay, so who do we vote? We know Jill Stein isn't going to get in, and some people just thought that they wanted any sliver of hope, and they thought that voting Trump would have done that. And obviously, that wasn't the case, but I can't really like condemn them for that specifically. You know, like it was just a really difficult. I don't know. It was
I
hard.
also want to like clarify too for anyone that doesn't know who Johnny is. Johnny is part of a marginalized group, so I also like I do feel like him being upset is also valid
Yeah, for sure.
because his rights are going to be stripped away. Um, when it comes to like a cishet white male, like y'all, like I don't feel bad for them, any of them.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hi, Brandon.
Uh, I see the topic up there, but I don't think that's the topic of the discussion.
It is.
I was hearing talks about
It is the topic of discussion.
oh I didn't feel like that's what y'all was talking about.
Then you're not understanding.
Okay.
What did you think we were talking about?
Palestine and other things like that. That's what I was hearing mostly.
It was just an offshoot of what we were talking about. It was just to
Yeah,
give
that's
an
what I meant.
example.
Like I didn't know if the topic was changing. I just got here.
Mm-mm.
Um, so what's white supremacy? What is that? Like what?
Are we confused?
Are you not
Absolutely,
familiar?
because if you're talking about Trump being a white supremacist, how is that even possible?
Does it say anything about Trump up there?
No, y'all was talking about Trump or whatever, but what's white supremacy? Like, what?
Can you stop
It's
saying it over and over
2025.
again? You see how like I filtered it there so that the AI wouldn't pick it up?
Okay. I mean, if you're truly struggling, let's just dissect those words
No,
really
like
quick.
white supremacy,
Yeah,
like
okay, sure.
sure,
If you say it again, then okay. So what does white refer to?
white people, which are
Okay, great,
minorities.
great. You already got it. Ding, ding, ding. What does supremacy refer to? What's that word?
Supreme, like what?
What does supremacy mean?
It could mean many things.
Okay, what does it mean?
I would say, I would say supremacy means you make the choice and decisions of how things go.
I think you're actually dumb,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Brandon, I don't know if you're mentally equipped for this conversation because why would you request up if you don't even know what this means?
Okay, so I'm
So
dumb.
maybe go
Yeah, you
Google
are.
it and come back. Okay.
Yeah, I think you actually need to Google subterms because there's no way that you're lost on that one. Like if we're struggling with that term to begin with, then maybe you're not equipped for
Wait,
them.
someone told me why am I condemning Kamala and forgiving Trump? I'm not forgiving Trump at all. We all know that the Trump is like beyond far gone. I'm just talking about the hypocrisy within the Democratic Party that people don't talk about a lot. So that has nothing to do with Trump. I literally did not vote for Trump. I voted for Kamala. So
She's
Kamala.
this is the issue we're having, y'all. Like that black and white is very coded.
Mhm.
Very coded. Um, Jesse is speaking with nuance. Like two things can be true at once. Trump can be worse, and you can also condemn
Yeah, like that's what I'm
the
trying to say. Like,
Democrats.
obviously, we all know that Trump is terrible. Like I'm not denying that, but that's not new to the conversation. I'm trying to say that we like there's a lot of Democrats that do not point out the hypocrisy within the Democratic Party at all. Like they do not at all. It's just you know what I
And
mean?
I do think it's the time right now, Jesse. So I agree with you. I think prior to the election, I mean, we talked about this privately, Alina. Like we were very much like, okay, well, we'll not necessarily point out as much of the hypocrisies of the Democratic Party because we do advocate for harm reduction. So we really wanted Kamala Harris to really be voted in because now we're in a shithole, clearly. But I think now is really the time for liberals and especially leftists to actually do some self work and to create a better party for the people. Since we are operating in this two-party system, we have to make some changes because the Democrats have done a lot of harm. To deny that they have been war criminals as presidents, or to deny that they have created a lot of harm for the people in Palestine, that they have created a lot of harm for trans people, etc., would be absolutely disingenuous. Like if we're not addressing those things. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to correct something real quick that Jessie said about Johnny, and maybe it's was something she misinterpreted. But hi, Lena, Kiara, Kiki.
Hi,
Um,
Ari.
so Johnny said it in two parts, right? First of all, he said that we need to focus more on what's happening in America right now because of everything that's happening with these executive orders and the constant violations to the Constitution by the president, which is 100% true for the way he runs his independent journalism because that's what he does. The other thing I want to correct is that what he does is he tells the Trump voters who go up there and cry about what's Trump is saying he's going to do in regards to Palestine. He tells them you don't have the right to cry because this is exactly what you voted for. This is exactly what Trump said he was going to do,
Yeah,
and you chose to ignore it.
I just saw first of all this guy named Clueless Liberal was talking to me about I was on Harry Sisson's live earlier because the only way he'll let you get on is if you say you voted for Trump, and then at the end I told him I didn't vote for him, and the only reason why I said that was because I wanted to point out his hypocrisy. I wanted to see if on live he'd admit that he was being hypocritical at points. Like it had nothing to do with that. You know they're gonna kick you off if you don't say that. But anyways, yeah, I know for Johnny, it's because I heard him I don't know, maybe I didn't hear the full context. I just heard him say when I entered the live, I just heard him talking to somebody and him saying something about like, oh, I don't we don't care about Palestine anymore. That's on you. Like you chose this or something. So I didn't know that the person probably voted for Trump or anything at that point. But
Johnny also only speaks to Trump voters 99% of his lives.
okay, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, no, he's telling the Trump voters, if you're coming up here crying about Palestine, you don't get to have that say anymore because Trump was very clear on what he said he was going to do about Palestine, which was, quote, turn it into a parking lot.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I really hope that he didn't say it that way, truly, because I don't think that's much better. I think people can care about
Uh,
Palestine regardless of who they voted for.
Yeah, the way he said it didn't sit right with me. That's why I'm like, it sounded so like it just sounded weird. It was like,
And I like Johnny. I watched Johnny, so I hope. but again, Johnny's also very young. So like again, this is an issue when we have when people are uplifted when they're so young and they don't have as much world experience. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't really talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was right. It's just the way that Jesse phrased it off to start was basically saying Johnny was saying he doesn't care about Palestine at all, which isn't true.
No,
He
I
he
meant to say
runs his live by admonishing the Trump voters, and he monologues a lot. I will take away points on him for that for sure.
Kiki, what are your thoughts on the topic?
I've got bars right now, so
Ah, what about you, Addie?
I don't like any of those young guys as far as like Parker, Dean, Harry, and Chris Mowry. Like I don't think that they've helped for sure. And even like, no offense to Johnny, but there's a degree where Johnny hasn't helped either because he monologues a lot and he overtalks them, and he does a lot of putting words in their mouths or be like, oh, you said you want to take away Social Security from the elderly. Why would you say something like that? Um, he's like, I appreciate like what he does off the platform, like with actually reporting on the news and everything, but Mm, I don't know. I think we need more individuals like Jones, NORADs, yourself, and everyone else that speak up from a place more knowledgeable than someone like myself could be, right? Because I'm a white woman. Like
I mean, so am I. I am Latina, but I'm
yeah.
white presenting.
Well, I'm just extremely like I'm as Eastern European as you can get white, so yeah, Carbon is a great one too. So is a Johnny does appeal to the younger crowd, that's right.
Oh, here's the thing, um, people like Felice. Felice is a woman of color, so she has two intersections, and she puts a lot of work into her shows. And at most, and I go on there's like maybe 300 people.
not
I
100%
I
sure,
love
but she,
Felice.
I don't know if she's queer or not.
Oh, she might be as well.
She's pansexual. She's
Oh, okay.
pansexual.
So there's another intersectionality.
So I want libs, leftists, I want you guys to actually sit with it and consider, why is it that you don't spend your time in places like Felice's Live? I hear everyone's saying Felice is great, Felice is great. So why aren't you guys there? Why are you guys choosing to watch Parker instead of Felice? Why are you choosing to watch Harry instead of Felice? Or like, for
No,
example, Polly. Polly's a great creator, very entertaining lives, very informational, but very rarely will he break 1,000. Why are you choosing to watch Harry over Polly? You gotta sit with it.
now that
Why
I've
is it
got
more
better
palatable to
research,
hear it from a cis het white man?
That
now
that
that
is
I
true. I
got
made
better
a joke in
research,
the
and the
live
one thing that I've
earlier. You're good, Kiki. Sorry.
no, you're fine. The reason I don't watch like Harry, Dean, and Parker's because they don't bring up anybody that is part of the marginalized community that they will be talking about. They'll have 8,000 people in there and talking about trans issues or the marginalization of black people, and they're the one doing all the talking. And I think that's a huge problem. So I don't give them traffic.
For the person who put in the comments, they bring up Santana. I mean, no offense, like I love Santana. Um, But when Harry, Dean, and Parker and Chris bring up Santana, it's like their token other side of the aisle.
Also, like
Like
Santana pushed his way into that. Santana
he did.
kind of not forced, but forced his way into the guest box. He demanded it. He would send cash apps to get attention from like to get in the box because they would not pay attention otherwise. And now, of course, like they're friends, so like he can, you know, get in there. But other than that, like they wouldn't let him up. But how many times do they go on Santana's platform? That's the true thing. Because now, even though they will bring people up, you're just exploiting those people's labor. If you really want to uplift marginalized communities, you need to be in their guest box. Bring your people there. You don't think about that. That's why, like the comments that were made in Chris's live earlier, like I'm like, this is what it can. Why are you guys meet writers like for these people?
I'm going to agree. Sorry, Erica, for the way I said that. Um, I don't mean it in any negative space because Santana is extremely smart and he deserves all the love that he gets.
He deserves more. Like again, if you go into Santana's lives in the evening, some at most I've seen recently 700 people. Why doesn't Santana, with all his experience, his knowledge, intersections, the quality that he puts into his shows, why doesn't he have 8,000 people?
And not only does he have the quality of shows, but he has a diverse panel, and he's very good at moderating it so that everybody gets a voice. So that's much more palatable for me. Um, that everybody gets to speak, but he does such a good job of making sure that all points of view are able to be spoken and heard. But he also shuts down people that are just disingenuous and idiotic. Like it's,
Okay, Alderant says
he,
because he isn't entertaining.
I disagree. He's absolutely
That's a
entertaining.
hard disagreement. If you're going to
Yeah,
tell me that a white piece of bread is more entertaining than Santana is, fuck all the way off. Just call yourself a white supremacist.
Santana's hilarious.
Santana's super
Like
entertaining. He's more entertaining than me.
he's hilarious. He's extremely kind to everybody, even when they don't deserve it. He doesn't let anyone, including friendlies, like talk down to opposition. Like his platform is fantastic, especially when he does his late nights. For anyone that is nervous about ever doing these lives, for anyone that wants a foot in the door to even just start being on panels, like he's fantastic. For anyone that wants their voice heard in any way, he lets them. Like he probably runs the best panel as an actual panel when he does his late nights, and he hosts great lives when he does his sparring with Santana.
So that person said, "Oh, like that he's just not entertaining or whatever." Okay. What do you need black people to do to be entertaining? Have you thought about that? Why do black people have to be a I can't say the word. Caricature. I can't say that word.
Well, exactly what you said, Alina. That like Harry, Dean, and Parker are a white piece of bread on the fucking screen, but there is no entertainment value there. Like you might learn a few things, but it's also boring.
Hi, Erica.
Hey, loves. Hey,
Hey, Erica.
so I just came, hey, Ari. Um, I just came up to say that's actually a really great question because it's something that I've always contemplated about like how my brand and how I present to people because I always feel like it's either I'm going to be put into one or two boxes because that's what people do to you. They put you in these boxes and it's like I don't fit in either of those boxes. I'm not like super I don't have to say what the boxes are, but I don't fit into either of those two boxes. But I just came up here to glaze Santana, and y'all don't tell him that I did this, okay? All right, don't tell him, please.
Clipping
But
this.
this is how y'all see him on sparring and on late nights, that is how he is. All right, my bro is a super kind person. That's just how he is. So like I can't take, like, if it comes, I'm very protective. So Ari, never did any disrespect. You know I love you. It's just that's just how he is in real life, and he's a grown ass man. Santana is almost 40. He knows exactly what he's doing. That's all I
And
gotta
a
say.
and a full job,
And a
and a
whole
full
ass
job
job,
Yep.
career with life,
whole ass wife,
kids.
got kids and everything. He know what he doing. So if I sound like I'm yelling, it's because I'm in the car. But I'm not driving. I'm sitting. And I think my
And
connection.
no, I did not misrepresent you. You're welcome to come up and have the conversation, but I did not misrepresent you. I also didn't mention who you were by name, so like kind of
Ooh,
awkward that you would out yourself in the chat. Like you could have just disappeared,
ooh.
but no, I
That's
didn't.
why I said, Erica, like I didn't mean it that way, and I understand. Like I probably could have taken a moment longer before I verbalized what my internal thought process was. Um, because that and like and like I love Santana. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime he hits that request button, I'll bring him up on anything. Even if it was just to go after a guy that was like being weird about the color of my teeth, just some random shit.
Because
Yeah,
me and her are weird. But
I love
yeah,
Santana. You guys know I love Santana because again, Santana was the only big creator aside from like my close friends, the only big creator that was like, you're in Live Fest, let's fucking go, let's do this. However, between
yeah.
him and Adi, like got together, Holly, I think Dan
Always
came
feel left
through,
out on this one.
Johnny came through, um, and they basically like tried to push us as far as we could in Live Fest. Um, as like one of the few, well, it was me and one other political creator left in that point, but
I would just say before I have to go back into the building is that I just wish that the women creators saw the same type of support that the male creators receive. That's my main thing.
mm,
That's what I really wish. Like for certain creators, I wish that like they didn't have to bring someone on their panel in order for people to come in because they're absolutely amazing. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So, and I like Alina, what you talk about, and like you and Kiara, what you two do together, along with B, absolutely, and Ren, absolutely fucking.
Oh, you're cutting out. Damn it, I want to hear the end of it.
Oh, what are you talking about?
No red bars of
Okay.
doom. I'll send you a
Oh,
text
red
message,
bars.
Erica,
Oh,
because there is. Yeah, you got red bars of doom. I'll send you a text message, Erica, because there is a couple of creators that are trying to push more of the women creators on their platform and give them space to talk about what they do.
But you know what?
But the thing is, Ari, like the issue is like again, it's the exploitation on their platform. I want to know the creators
Yeah.
that are going onto the women's platforms.
I
That's what I
Well,
want to
that
know.
that part. That's what I was thinking. It's like
yeah,
why
that's
why
true.
why
I
are
love
why
you
are they the
guys.
sideshow? Why aren't they the
Hey,
headliner?
Erica. Like, why is
Well,
Lainey on
oh,
certain platforms in the morning? Why are they not on Lainey's platform in the afternoon?
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Like I'll sit in her live. So for me, I don't I requested up for a couple of dance parties. But I've told her this before in text. I'm like, I'm not educated enough on the topic that I feel like I can have a full conversation with anyone or answer their questions, which is why I try to keep it off that topic entirely in my lives because
Same.
I don't want anyone to ever feel like I'm using them for their voice.
Yeah, like if the topic ends up there, like, and somebody wants to come up, like a Kiki or Lainey or whatever, I'm happy to have them speak for sure. But I don't ever expect Kiki to be sitting in the boxes full time for me to like exploit like whenever needed. And I know Kiki's my friend. Kiki wouldn't expect that, but like and wouldn't feel that way, I don't think. But I
No,
still
and
don't like the appearance of it.
And the thing is like I'll sit in the comments because there's a lot of topics that I can't speak on. So yeah, I'll request up in that moment where it goes down transmissia lane. But I mean, I do pop into other people's lives, and it's like, okay, yeah, I've got an opinion on this too. Like, I'm not there just to talk about trans issues, and
Mhm.
that does come across like a lot of Lainey and myself. That like, yeah, we're only there to talk about trans issues. Like, we have opinions and we have facts on other things.
Mhm.
Not like, okay, but
Yeah.
that's not your entire, like, that's what the people always claim, but that's so not true. You're not just a trans person. You're my friend. You're a very educated woman. You know a shit ton of things on a shit ton of social issues, and that's what makes you valuable. And I hope that you never need to feel in any space that way, that you're just there to provide information and that's it. Like, I don't, I mean, if they see you that way, then fuck them because you're really so much more than that.
No, and I don't feel that in most of the spaces that I go into, and I typically only go into spaces where I feel like I I have a my full voice, not just a tokenizing voice
Ooh,
to
welcome
help.
RTP Raiders. Thank you, Geeky, for subscribing with Prime over on Twitch. Welcome to the Twitchies. Welcome, welcome. Make sure you guys are following over on the Twitchies.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, um, I just wish we, and this is for all political creators. Um, I kind of wish we did more, which is like Polly will make fun of me for like panel surfing, and I'm like, well, I do it to also get different things heard. So like most people, let's say like Brett Cross, when I request, he thinks I'm like, it's always somehow gets to abortion, and it's like that's not the only thing I'm good at though. Like even like Polly knows that too. It's
Mhm.
similar like Kiki, and that's why it's like I don't know. That's why I try to keep my topics generic right now, and
I
then
think
I try
the
to
other thing
rotate
that I
different
find
co-hosts.
extremely problematic that does tie into this topic is even when you look at the white male creators, the ones that are getting the most views are the ones that look like children. Can we talk about that?
It's so weird. You know,
It's
I never thought
very
about that
concerning
before.
and it's very problematic because if you're going to tell me that uh, a Dean or Harry has a more informed show, a more knowledgeable, and have more experience to speak on it than an RTP, when RTP can't break 1,000, excuse me, when RTP can't hit a daily goal of what is it, 269, but Adina Parker's like people are sending them hundreds and hundreds at a time. These middle-aged women sending them hundreds of dollars. That is red flags. Why are people so comfortable hanging out with literal children? Why are people so comfortable hearing stuff from literal children?
Which then I think we also have to add the nuance too. I think they are exploited in some ways to cater to a lot of those middle-aged white women sexually. And I think that's very fucking disgusting. I think if you just are very much under your 20s or your very early 20s and 50-year-old women are slobbering after you, like actually go fuck yourself. I'm
I thought,
sorry, you're
listen,
nasty.
I thought that they were catering to a younger crowd, but when you go in there and you watch and you see the people that are watching, it's
Yeah.
not young people. There's
No,
some young
it's
people,
like,
but it's a lot of older people.
oh, it
A
is
lot of older people.
obviously young people too. And I obviously don't have a problem if you're like 17, 18, 19, 20, and you have a little crush on like Dean and Parker or whatever and you
But
find them
what,
attractive or
as
whatever.
as
Like
a
it's,
middle-aged woman or man, what are you learning from a 20-year-old?
well,
Why are you
nothing.
trying to seek knowledge from a 20-year-old? That is concerning. That is fucking concerning.
And
And
and the
that's not,
and the thing is those guys don't have resources that nobody else has. We all have those resources. We all pull from the same resources. They're there for a specific reason. Young white men, like that's exactly why they're there, and it's bullshit.
So, I mean, I think I have a mutual, um, of course, I'm blanking on her. Oh, it's I think it's like it's Lisa something. We've been mutual for a long time, but she talks a lot about aspects of white supremacy, of like the youthfulness, the youngness, even being blonde and more blonde um is part of white supremacy because it is more youthful, because people aren't usually like super blonde when they get older because your pigment changes as you get older. That's something that's seen in children, the like light blonde hair. So she talks about all those different assets of white supremacy. And so like when you look at these creators that are being idolized, it's like that Chris dude, like, bro, he looks like a child. He could be of age. He looks like a fucking child. And that is just so weird to me. Like, I don't want to hang out with children. I don't know. Maybe that's unusual. Maybe
Oh,
that is
just and
unusual.
just to put it in there too, like being I know like this month has been weird for me, and I appreciate everybody for being understanding, especially you, Alina, since I am your mod and I haven't been able to be in here as much. But seeing your numbers be as low as they have been compared to January, December, November,
Mm.
that's it's really made me mad for you.
Yeah, I know why it is, but like, like, and we've talked about this before, even on my live. Like, we love to blame the app. We love to blame the app, and we love to blame the algorithm. But the algorithm is not a predetermined thing. The algorithm is based on what you engage with. So if you are spending time in these cishet white male creator lives, the algorithm is going to continue to show you that. So you can say all the world that you care about marginalized voices and all that stuff, you care about women and everything like that, but where are you spending your time? Where are you spending your money? And it takes work to actively train your algorithm to get you out of those funks.
And I
My
can't even
FYP does not show me, I don't have them blocked, but it does not show me the Parkers and Deans. Only time they ever show up on my feed is if one of my friends is in their guest box. It's
I
the only
can
time.
I can attest to that too with my husband. So my husband doesn't use TikTok super actively. He's not like somebody who scrolls like doom scrolls like I do. But then whenever he does open the app, like I've seen it literally that Alina's live shows up. Erica's live has shown up quite a few times on his FYP, and he doesn't even like actively follow anyone in the debate community. So he's obviously seeking the spaces whenever I'm in there, and that's how his FYP has, been altered by that.
Exactly. That's true too. Yeah, and that's part of why like I only like I almost never scroll on my FYP. I only go to my inbox and then I look at the live bubbles to see who's
Yeah, I just go
live.
on following.
Um, yeah, I just look at my exactly. Just go to my mutuals to see where they're at, who's live they're in, and then I might jump in from there if I choose to. I mean, and that's what I do. I stick straight to my following because I don't. It's kind of like I don't want to see their content. No offense to them. I don't want to see. I don't want to watch their lives because I don't think that they do a great job, in my opinion. And I don't know. It really does bother me to see the numbers that they have compared to other individuals who actually speak with knowledge
And life experience. Jesse on
and like
Twitch
oh yeah,
said something cool. That should be a temperature check. What does your FYP look like?
true statement.
What does your
Well,
FYP
I
look
gotta
like?
step back into my building at work.
That's fine. We'll
So
be
I
we'll be
will
around for a bit.
swing through. Oh, I know you're always on until at least 6 o'clock, so I got plenty of time. I'll listen in while I'm working. Bye, guys. Love you.
Love you.
The FYP is definitely like, if you talked on that topic, I mean, mine's a lot of dogs, queer content, and um, debate lives. So
Mhm.
yeah, uh, I
Mine's
get
a lot of cats. Kiara and I send a lot of cat videos.
I get a lot of like older
Bless
millennials
Louise.
like coming across my FYP, but it's not because
Well, I'm so
I
thankful he's never, I didn't even know who he was or what he looked like until people started stitching him. So I'm thankful for that.
he comes across my FYP, but I don't go into his lives, but I'll stay on the outside and like listen because I want to hear what the opposition says too. Especially when it comes to
Thank you
their
guys.
their perception on the trans community, on the black community. Like I want to hear what they have to say so that I can construct and research on my own on how to combat their misinformation.
Mhm. All going crazy on the Discord.
Hello? Oh, hi. I didn't know if I didn't want to interrupt.
Hey, Jace. How are
Hi.
you?
I came in the chat a little salty, so I
Okay.
apologize for that. I'm just wondering, like, I watch Parker and Dean all the time. I'm not up here, like,
I just
to
wanted to be clear,
defend
this is
them.
not just about Parker and Dean.
No,
This
no,
is a
no.
very
I know
general
that
topic that
for
we're talking
sure.
about. It's just
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
things we've been talking about today.
I
FYI.
come in, I mean, I'm defensive of them, regardless of how old they look or whatever, because I'm 33 and never was into like learning about politics, anything like that, and them being so young and so factual and they don't really speak with emotion has actually taught me a lot, and I watch them all the time.
Hmm.
But I just came in like 10 minutes ago. I also watch RJ, watch Jones, I watch Baby Bop, I forget her actual name. So I am wondering, after sitting here for a little bit, do you think it has to do with the time of day that you guys go live?
Mm,
Because
no.
RJ Jones, Adam Cray, I love Adam Cray, he's awesome. You guys are all on. You came up on my For You page, so I don't know what I've been engaging with that made that happen, but
Mm.
you guys are all on during the day, during the week when it's like people are in school at work. And I work with kids, so like I can't listen to these political lives. So I'm really
Well,
wondering if that's affecting your numbers.
it's not because um
Adam Cray, if
l-
you want to look him up.
like
No, he's not an L.
like Johnny goes live in the middle of the day and gets 3,000 people. And we also do go like
Yeah.
Eric and Ren go live at night and they get
Hmm.
300 people.
I mean, do you think it's like their energy and how they engage with people? Like,
Whiteness.
I don't think that's fair to say, though.
Okay.
I think they
So,
have a lot more
But
to
then you have a lot more
offer than,
unpacking to
like,
do.
okay, well, hold on. This is very simple. So the people that we have talked about, the creators like Erica, Alina, myself, like many Black creators like Javon, etc., we're all going live
Ellie
during
Santana.
different, at least Santana, etc. Yeah, I'm not trying to let somebody out. I'm just trying to get to the point.
mm,
We all have seen them go live through different times of the day.
mm,
They have this similar content, or almost the same content. They've done MAGA, they've done leftist, abortion, etc. Like we've done the same thing, but we see
right?
that some people have different outcomes than others, and the only thing that's different is either gender and race. Those are the two things that are different, and the people that have success are white men, and unless you're telling me that, like, I don't know, Erica is not energetic because she's energy
Eric and Ren are
queen.
like
Well, you
I
said
amazing.
it was
know.
their whiteness when I first asked, so now
Yeah.
it's white men, you're saying
I mean, they're
specifically?
both things can be true. Like we were specifically talking about white supremacy. I would say that obviously black men are very much less likely to be pushed out to the algorithm than white men are, and even white women. But I mean, definitely them being men has also can also be contributed
I
to
mean,
their likelihood
Baby
of
Bop
success.
gets crazy views, and she was on earlier.
Hmm.
Yeah, but not as much as the other
But
ones.
I
but
forget her actual name, but she's not a white man. You guys are white. So I'm just trying to understand, like, is it like it might just be the content, it might be the energy, it might be how they engage with their community. Like, I don't know, but I know Dean is a little intense, but Parker, like, I don't know, that kid, he's awesome to watch.
I'm not gonna speak on
But
Tashika because that's not my place.
she's so entertaining, but she's aggressive and she's forward and like, oh, you're gonna fucking talk
No,
shit to
not
me
you
and give it
using
back.
aggressive.
Like,
No, hold on. You're not gonna use aggressive for a black woman. You're not gonna do that.
I said the same thing about Dean.
No, you're
He was
not
a
gonna
white
use
man.
that.
It's different.
You're not gonna use that for a black woman. Okay?
Okay, you
You're
don't
not.
have to be condescending. You can just
No, I
say a
will be
nice thing and
condescending. I
explain.
will be condescending because
See,
clearly
okay,
you're not
so
attending this
here's the
thing.
disconnect. Because you spend so much time in white spaces, this is why you don't know that that's a microaggression.
I watch her all the time.
Yeah, but
I
that's
watch
a
Jones all the time. Both of them are people of color.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
then
but you
clearly you
don't
didn't
use
learn anything.
aggressive. Yeah, you
What
didn't
does that
learn
even
anything
mean?
because
Didn't learn anything?
well,
What does
like
that
if
even
you that's
mean?
If you
like
don't
one
know
of
that
the
like calling a black woman aggressive is a microaggression, then you have a lot to fucking
To
learn.
the
And
stupid
you're being
Trump or
defensive right
the
now when we're trying to educate you on it.
that's fine. It's the
Are we
way
just
you're
not palatable
talking.
enough?
I don't
Like, do I need to
educate
put
me.
a
I'm
should I
open.
put a
you're
backwards
calling me
hat on, like,
condescending.
and try to be a boy so it's more
I'm
palatable?
open. I'm open
Well,
to it.
then
Like,
don't call me condescending either. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like people correct me all the time and it's fine. Like I'm not making it like a me thing or an ego problem.
okay, well, I didn't mean it like that because
Okay.
literally right before I said the same thing about Dean.
Jace,
He's
Jace,
aggressive
Jace, right here. Hey, hold on,
sometimes.
Jace, right here. You just say I'm sorry, and you change your behavior. You don't keep
Okay,
talking and
absolutely. You're
excusing.
right. I didn't know. I won't say that again. I'm open to that. Like, I'm not being like rude. So, and it's maybe you weren't trying to be, but like when you laugh and like talk like that, like I'm stupid, like it's something I should know. Like I am white.
Well, you should
And
know
it's
that
not
though.
because
You should
I
know
don't,
that because a lot of black people on this app talk about that. A lot of
I know Jones
black
talks about it.
creators, a lot of educators talk about microaggressions. Alina
I
talks about it
didn't
often.
realize it was since I followed it with saying the same exact thing about Dean. So I was
Well,
only
what's the
relating
difference
it.
between
I
Dean,
would
a white man, and a black woman?
There's a
Let's
lot
let's
of
review.
difference, but I'm talking strictly about the way they engage with their guests and how when they're like
Why is there a
evidently
lot of difference
stupid
between
and
a black woman and a white
oh
man?
my God,
Because
I understand. I
no,
literally
Then you would
I
stop
get
being
that.
defensive. You would stop talking.
Um,
because they're providing the same information. There is no difference.
what does that even, what?
I do
Do your
also
own
want to point out
research.
that even though Tashika does pull in numbers, she doesn't pull in 10K like Dean does. So again, there's still a disparity. And someone like Jones, who's been on this app just as long as like a Parker
He's
has,
the best one out of everybody,
and how many
honestly.
does he pull a day?
I mean, he
I've never
gets
seen
up
him.
there sometimes
At
during the
most I've seen
day.
was like 2,500 at most.
I'm not disagreeing with you that
So you have to admit there is some kind of
the white
disparity.
men get more engagement. I understand that. Like facts still matter. That guy, I forget his actual name. Love watching him too. He's white. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I don't think you're wrong. I just don't know if the color of their skin is the only thing because
Oh yeah,
I
it also has to do with their gender. But I just want to
but
mention something
true.
real quick, if I may, Alina.
I'm not trying to argue like I agree with you. It's
Okay,
just
then
I don't.
babe. Shh. I just want to bring up something because we're. I just really
Did
want
you
to bring up something
shush
really
me,
quick.
bro?
Yes, I
That's
did.
crazy.
Because it's Black History Month.
That's crazy.
You be doing racisms. So
I'm not racist. I actively try not to be, so please don't
oh,
say
you're still
that.
talking. Crazy.
You sound like just rude.
No, go ahead.
Jace, shush, shush, shush. Please be
I'm
quiet.
being quiet.
Yeah, that's why I came up because I wanted to just point something out about Dean and Parker and their fan base. Dean and Parker got away with a lot of macro and micro aggressions, racially and that have to do with misogyny and sexism, and their fan base isn't quite educated enough to call it out and understand and unpack it. So then they get fans that say things like this and do things like this, and that is why I don't
On their
follow.
behalf, which is
What did
Literally
I
on their behalf.
say? I
We already
literally
told
said
you what you said.
aggressive
We
and
already
I
told you what you said.
apologized. So
Stop
how is that
talking
being
now.
racist? I'm not
Stop
defending
talking
what I
now.
fucking said. I'm not defending what I said. I was defending the way you corrected me. Like,
the
So
tone. So the
policing.
tone.
how do you not get that
So
though?
So
tone
you're tone
policing.
policing.
What?
So tone policing.
You told me admit what you said was wrong. Now you know. We taught you. Now you understand. Don't say it again. I said you're absolutely right. I won't ever say that again. I didn't
So tone
know.
policing.
How is that not actively trying to be
So
better?
tone
Like what the
policing.
fuck? Like you don't even
It's
make
because of
sense.
how
Bro.
you act on this panel right now. That's the problem. Like if you would truly like learn and put your ego aside,
I
you
do.
would then
I
shut
do.
up. Then
And
shut
you
up.
wouldn't still be pushing back. Like that's what I mean. Like you guys have still a lot to unpack if like this is your reaction to just like a
Yeah.
correction. Like you said
Here
you
I
came here
am.
to learn. Like I
Yeah, exactly. Here I'm trying to listen to Drea, what she has to say, and yet you're still yapping. So stop. Drea, go ahead.
Thank you.
Jace, just a reminder, this is Black History Month. A black woman's trying to talk to you about racism, so mute.
Tell me, teach me. I want to know. I want to learn.
Oh, do you? So people normally learn with their mouth closed and their ears open. Okay, so people ask for an example. I would love to give an example. Parker tried to actively deny a biracial black woman's blackness on his live and had his fans vote in a poll with whether or not they thought she was a black woman or not. That is racist.
wait, what?
Yeah, her name is OK Ray. Yeah,
When was that?
I believe it was last year. It was during Biden and Trump's like election cycle, and they were debating AB related topics because she was trying to point out the racism in feminism, and he didn't like that.
Okay. That's
And there's also the fact that Dean likes to overspeak Indigenous people's voices and then claim indigeneity. And then when Indigenous people ask who claims him, he says, I have to DM you.
wait, he
Yeah.
claims to be indigenous?
Yes.
That's
These are racist white men. I don't care how many times they said they've unlearned it. They are still racist white men. And they say a lot of racist things on their lives, but their fans are too uneducated to call it out and understand and unpack it. Case in point, Jace.
tap the screen, y'all. Do all the things. Protect alive.
Can we get Drea and Amanda up over 1,000 coins, just as a starting point?
Oh, can we get a big W in the chat for Ravi, Ravi, just so you guys don't spell it wrong. Ravi sent a $100 PayPal for, hi Alina, listening to this conversation while working. Love this conversation. Thank you. I know Ravi is excited that we're getting a break from some Trump supporters because I know the Trump conversation stresses Ravi out. For those of you guys that are new here, the money that I collect is for my foster kittens. Right now I have 7 bottle babies and 1 adult cat in my care. All the babies are still alive, y'all. We're holding on strong. MySpace
I,
is
I think
still with a chunky leg.
I think Ren
But
wanted to come up, and I saw her in the chat.
okay.
Hi.
Hi, Ren.
What is going on? Like, I was just
Nothing.
hearing a
Just
bunch
hanging
of,
out.
oh, okay. Cause I'm like, I just heard somebody call somebody aggressive, and I was just like, whoa, what's happening here? So what am I missing?
Just, Just a little learning, unlearning.
Oh, okay. So what are we discussing? Why Black creators and other marginalized creators do not get the recognition that they deserve?
Among
Is
other
that what?
things, yeah.
Oh, and
Ren,
it's so.
sorry.
Mhm.
Ren, for example, I know you wouldn't misspeak or Erica wouldn't misspeak on your panel when talking about a previous Triple K member and say that they are no longer racist and completely unlearned racism, like Dean did, right?
Um, First of all, that I'm trying to choose my words very carefully here. That sounds like some bullshit.
Exactly.
I'm not even gonna try to make that sound.
Exactly.
That sounds like some bullshit. Here's the reality. First of all, unlearning racism is a lot like alcoholism. They tell you that you are always a recovering addict. You are always a recovering alcoholic. You are always a recovering racist. That's it. That's all. Because it is
Yeah,
something that you work for every day.
I've been doing these lives since honestly since TikTok became, or since Musically became TikTok and they added a live feature. And if someone asked me if I was racist, I would still be saying yes. It's just,
So,
I was raised in white supremacy. I would also say that I have internalized misogyny that I've worked through. I still have a lot of work to do.
I mean, I still work through internalized misogyny now.
Hmm.
Dude, I work through internalized ableism. So,
I still work through internalized transphobia. Like it's something that it's a constant process.
If you guys don't mind, I just also want to mention something else that bothered me. Jace, are you a content creator?
No.
Okay. So we all are. Okay. And you insinuating that there must be something else, like we're just not good enough and we just can't figure it out how to get into the algorithm kind of pissed me off. Now thinking about it, we've been doing this for years. We have seen like how what Parker and Dean's doing, like people have tried to do the things that they're doing, but when they're not a white man, they don't get those results. And we're not stupid. Like we study the algorithm, we're trying everything. Like you should see like how Erica analyzes the algorithm. There's no one like her. Seriously.
And the work
Like
and the prep that people like
put
Felice
in.
do for their lives. They don't just like turn the live on. like they actually prepare, or like Santana, like you see Santana every week, it's like a different background, completely different done. Like he's got all the effects, he's got the green screen, he's streaming on multiple platforms, like soundboard, all things going, intro music, like it's a production.
I mean, I was watching Parker years ago when he had less viewers than you do right now.
can I
So
ask you a question?
I'm just
I mean
Okay,
this.
what was it? Hold on. What was the point of that fucking comment?
because
Oh
you
my
You know
ju-
that I started on here before Parker did. You know
I
that,
didn't
right?
I don't know that. No, I didn't know
Okay.
that.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, but you weren't paying attention because I
hold
said I've
on.
been on this app doing this since Musically became TikTok.
Hold
Okay.
on.
So explain to me how like Parker started after me, but somehow is ahead of me
I got a
quickly.
question, Jace. It seems like you are absolutely just are you related to these people?
No, made that clear. I wasn't up here just to defend
Okay,
them. I was
okay.
just
But it's
wondering.
darling, it's waddling and quacking, so it sounds like a duck. And I get it. I get that you said that you're not up here to defend them. But if it's waddling and it's quacking, it's a duck, right? If it's behaving like a person that's defending people and it's saying things like a person that's defending people, isn't it a fair assumption that you're defending people?
I guess it could,
Also,
yeah,
Jones
come
did
off
start
that
before
way.
Parker's too. So again, we can compare another completely different creator. If you say like maybe I'm just not palatable to people, which I could
I,
totally understand. I'm definitely not
I think
for
since
most
the
people.
Jubilee thing, they blew up from that mostly.
I
But
just also
no,
want to bring up a great point as well. There are amazing creators, like Black creators, in addition to obviously Ren and Erica, like Divas and
DM him to
Javon
me.
and Bratz, who do not get like don't even crack 100 viewers because they're talking about
Divas is,
racism and anti-blackness, and white people don't like to unpack that.
or they
So
don't like to
y'all
hear
just
it
scroll
from
past.
Black people. They only like to hear it from white people.
but not trying to be funny. And Jace, I do not mean this insultingly. Jace is kind of proving how that happens, though. Because the first moment that anybody is pushing back, that part of the reason that these cis het white men are getting all of this, these accolades, and saying, hey, that their skin color does have a part to play in that. She's like, no, it's got to be something else.
As well as, I wasn't saying that that's not true. I think, regardless of, I mean, I feel like you said that they looked really young, which they do. And I think that is refreshing for some people to see those, middle-aged women that you said is a lot of who follows them and engages with them. So I don't
Why would that be refreshing for a middle-aged woman? Why would that be something that's enticing for a middle-aged woman?
to watch. I mean, to see that young people, their age aren't, because you would expect the young white men, to be Trump supporters, and to see that they aren't.
They were.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, they
were
They
though.
were.
were. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, were. You just said were.
And
Past
are still
tense.
actively perpetuating racism and misogyny on their panels now. But since they say that they've completely unlearned it, y'all think they completely unlearned it.
Like a huge amount of people have been bamboozled to think that you could be a Trump supporter a few years ago and all of a sudden now be the face of the left here, the face of leftist TikTok. Like that's banana cakes to me. I would never fucking trust somebody that voted for Trump. Period.
Me either. I'm not disagreeing with you.
So then
You trust
why
someone
are you
that
here
literally,
standing for them? That's crazy.
They didn't vote for Trump, though.
but
They
they
supported
literally,
Trump. Dean may
See,
not have been able to vote because he wasn't old enough, but he
Right.
supported Trump. He's said it.
as we continue this conversation, I realize why I may never make it to that level of content creation. Because I'm a firm believer in calling a thing a thing. And people don't like that. Um, if they were supporting him, if they could have voted for him, guess what? They would have.
Mhm.
So that means I don't trust them. It's that simple for me. And I'm one of those people, once you have lost my trust, it takes an absolute lot to get it back, and you may never get it back. And I think that
Thank you so much, Marina. Marina said $10 to remind everyone of your goal. Thank you so much.
I get sick of I get sick of feeling like I have to tap dance to get to be more palatable so that people will defend me, Jace, the
Mhm.
way you defend them. And
like, you're,
that's the problem.
It's because I watch them a lot, not because of them being white men. Not on purpose. I
But
don't.
you don't know them. Like I'm telling you this
No,
as
I
like
know
just
that. I know
like
that.
you should never be putting your face and your reputation to defend a fucking stranger. You don't know these people.
Right. No, I know
Like if
that.
tomorrow you found out that he literally had a hood in his closet that he wears on Saturdays, like that looks bad on you. Like
Right.
you're not gonna catch me defending people that I don't fucking know on this app. Like parasocial relationships, like we've gotten so crazy with this shit. Like Eric and Ren, I talk to them on a daily basis. Like we message every fucking day. I message Kiara every day. Like I message Drea.
I
Like we're
messaged
talking
Alina
about,
and she didn't respond, so
you know I'm bad with my DMs, but
I
you know,
had to
but
mess
we
with
talk in
you.
the
I'm sorry.
Discord.
I had to mess with you.
Fine.
I had to mess with you. I just messaged you a pressing question. But I also wanted to mention, sorry, Jace, you're defending two white men that I just said have on multiple occasions on this big platform that they have done outright racist things.
I
and then
didn't
say that they've unlearned
didn't know
racism.
those things before talking
But
to
now you
you.
do, and you're still defending them.
Exactly.
That's what's
No,
concerning.
I'm not like I'm not, my feelings aren't hurt for, like, I'm learning from you guys. Like, that's, I mean, the factual things that I would never look up on my own or even think that I have learned from them, like, just strictly like not opinions, political facts, like, that I'm thankful for, but I'm not defending their like personalities. I was just giving, my opinion of why they might get more views than you. But if have done the research, you've studied the algorithm, like, I believe you. Like, I'm not going to argue with you about that. Like, I already followed you. I didn't even realize that till like a few
Oh,
minutes ago. Like, I have already been following you for however long. I have no idea.
But Jace,
I
baby, you proving the point.
like, I'm
Big W.
trying to be better. Like, I am. I didn't know that calling a black woman aggressive, like, I didn't know that was a thing. Because I was just, she's just a person. Like, I was comparing their personalities. They're similar. They're friends, so I didn't know, and now that I know that, I won't ever say that again. Like, that's not.
Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me just thank the Big
Yeah.
W to Stephanie. Love you so much. Stephanie sent a $50 Cash App, so thank you so much, Stephanie. Guys, make sure you're also gifting the panel. Like everyone in the panel, I'm sure has pay links in their bio. You can also gift them through the app as well. And Gary sent $75. You introduced me to TikTok community. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gary. The goal is completed. I don't need anything else, y'all. Like the cats are set or be set. You can send everything else to everybody.
Drea, love, I think it's better if you just show your name. Like the QR code is, I think, harder to get in the panel. Show your username.
Welcome, Lainey Rain.
And this is like maybe also something important that of course, that I got to learn from Black Creator is that, and that's why you couldn't have possibly learned that from Dean, is that you can't just be anti-racist passively. You have to actively seek out anti-racist work in order for you to deconstruct and to just say, well, I'm not actively like trying to avoid you guys. Like that's the whole point. Like if you want to be anti-racist, you have to seek out Black creators. You have to, listen to Black creators and hear what they're trying to say about the platform and community. And, that's just not going to happen listening
Welcome
to.
again, Lainey Raid.
So
Sorry,
what
Ari.
else can I do except accept your, like, your information and knowledge, which I did that, and like,
I just said it.
No, I'm
You have to.
specifically talking about earlier when I said that word, that
Well,
adjective. Like, I
you were
didn't.
very defensive. Like I feel like this is let me just tell you from like maybe a fellow white person, when you get called out for something like racist that you're doing or the microaggressions, macroaggressions, if you're using AAVE, don't get defensive because that's lame. It's very lame for Black people to hear the defensiveness of white people when they're trying to quote unquote deconstruct their own racism. Like you can't do that at the same time. You can't be defensive and say, yeah, I'm a listen to everybody at the same time. It doesn't work like that. Thank you, Stephanie, for the $20.
I think I just get defensive. Like, it's hard when then like all of you are up there and it's like just me, which is fine. Like, I'm not, but I'm a defensive person regardless of what the topic is, and like I'm working on that. So
Yeah, but that perpetuates white supremacy, like
and
this
then it just
idea
makes
that
me
a
look.
white person, yeah, it makes you look bad, and it's like perpetuate this idea that white people just can't do any wrong, and that they have to like instead of just accepting it and apologizing, saying, "Okay, I didn't know."
Well, I
That would
did that, but I wasn't. I guess I was being like kind of intense while I was apologizing, so it doesn't really seem like authentic or like genuine. But I like meant what I said, but like what else could I have done like in that situation where I'm like, oh, okay, like I hear you, I won't say that again. Like it's hard when I like say, I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about me specifically because say I'm not racist, but being white, like I feel like it's hard because I don't know everything. So when you say actively learn how not to be, like what more can I do? Because that word, like I really didn't know like that was a thing. Like
Listen
I
more.
wouldn't have said that. Like I would never have
Well,
said
okay, so
that.
here's the thing. You need to like do more listening, less talking for starters. And by you got to retrain your algorithm. If you want to learn how to be like anti-racist, then you got to be watching actual black and brown creators.
Mm,
Um, and in order to do that, like you already know your algorithm is not going to feed you that stuff. Like you have to actively like if you know that like Erica and Ren go on at 9 Eastern every fucking night, you go and you make sure you check in, and if they're not there, then you go to a different live. But like knowing when these creators are doing their lives, like Jones goes live in the morning, so like
right.
making sure you're checking in there. Dan Trell's usually live even before that. Like
Can
there's a
you
lot of
give me
creators.
some names real quick? Like,
Bratz, Divis,
hold on,
Bratz,
slow down. Wait,
Divis,
wait, wait,
Sky
wait, wait.
Montclair.
Stop. Wait.
Hey, hey, you
What is
guys.
it?
Hold on one second, Jason. I gotta go back to work. I'm
All right,
sorry.
Or if
bye
one of
then.
you could even
I'll be
DM me
back.
or put it like in the chat, I'll screenshot it because like I'm not like I'm
Carbon
being
is a good one. Like literally all hours of day, there's people. And then so when you're in those lives listening, because even just by watching the conversation and watching how they interact with people that come up on the panel, because the people that come up on the panel are going to make those same mistake that you made,
right,
and you don't have to be the one sitting in the seat watching the
right,
correction, and you can watch it in action and you're
right.
like, oh shit. Because I've learned about different microaggressions, and different ableist things and things like that just from watching other lives, of diverse people. Adorna's going, yeah, so people are putting a bunch in the chat and you can just like screenshot. Live is good as well.
If you know who Zodiac Unaliver, like replace Unaliver with the actual word, that's his actual username on here. He is a grad student that learns about psychology. So he also speaks about racism and white supremacy in relation to psychology, like how we view like black people with autism, how we view black people that are neurodivergent in other ways. Like just he is
Mr.
really
Thomas.
great about that. Like his
By the
name
way,
is
y'all,
Zodiac
we love
Unaliver.
NORADs, but NORADs is not black. Just FYI. Whoever put that in the chat.
And someone also said Sky Montclair, who's also his mutual. Yes, Sauce, Javon, Bratz, Yanni
I've
Yanni.
watched Javon before.
Not we're probably thinking about two different Javons because there's a bigger Javon on here. Javon
Jovan
who,
and Javon.
yeah, Javon who mutuals with Alina. I'm not sure if he mutuals with you anymore. Alina, if you can, I would reach out to him. He's going through a hard time.
Oh,
Just as a friend. Just say hi.
okay.
Yeah.
Did he get a different, because I know he got an account taken down, right?
Yeah.
So I might not have his new account.
Okay, yeah, I
I'll
can send
message
it
you.
to
I'll
you.
message you. Yeah, yeah. Carbon is a good one if you're up late at night or if you're on the West Coast. Because Carbon's
I'm
usually
on the East Coast.
okay, so then you're
Sean Itchy Solid lived like Oak Tree just said. Yes, Covey, of course. Like Athena is a fantastic Santana.
um
Right.
Sean, watch my legs, Sean. She
Sean
is
is the
incredible. She's one that like
Who? What is it?
the username is watch my legs. So she and I started debates years ago. Like we were doing debates before the Parkers were
Debating
doing
each other
debates.
or other
No,
people?
like other people.
Oh.
And Sean used to host her own lives, and the way that the algorithm and how this app works, like it would suppress so much that at the time, like she gave up and she would just come onto and guest in my lives. Because whenever she would guest, like her live would get immediately reported, taken down, all that stuff, because she's, a black woman. So
So fucked up.
yeah.
And
So like that's another really great one, especially if you're interested in learning like um about going even further left, like if you want to learn about socialism, communism, anti-capitalism. Sean also debates like religion as well. There's a little bit of something for everyone, but I
I
do
guess
understand that these creators, these big creators are usually like the gateway to
right,
people, but like you can't just like
right.
stop there. Like
Kind of
that's
got
like
stuck in that, yeah, because
Jeff
yeah,
is another good one. End of a Species, Jeff. He's sometimes in here. Oh, SoCal Smitty, I love. He hosts a lot of panels with like both sides, and he does like moderate them pretty well.
would you be willing to you don't have to like DM me those
Yeah.
names. You don't have to.
Just shoot me a DM so you're in like my
Okay.
little request thingy,
I
and
feel
I'll
I feel like silly and yeah, I am sorry that I like was talking to you guys like that way. Like that's stupid. So I apologize.
okay.
Uh, it's
Just keep it
okay.
moving. Yeah, just
Okay.
just don't dwell on it. Keep it moving.
Right,
You
right,
know
right,
better for
right.
next
Yeah, no.
time. And again, like I said, keep listening. We would love to see you tonight when Eric. Well, today's Tuesday, so I don't know if Eric and Red are gonna go live, but there's always something.
I
There's always something.
screenshotted the ones in the comments, Psych Witch. I screenshotted those ones. She was
Okay.
just Alina was mentioning more that I hadn't didn't see written down. So
I just also want to mention Kat Black, who's a great Black trans woman YouTube creator. She also creates long form TikTok content, and she was actually calling out something that was amazing. It was how white supremacy is still rampant, especially in LGBTQIA spaces. Bringing up Madeline Pen I don't know how to say her last name, and I didn't really look it
Pendleton.
up because yes, it's her. I don't like her. She's racist. And she was calling out her racism. And yes, Madeline responded with, who's I don't understand why this small creator is trying to call me out and be the final boss of leftism. So I don't want to engage with that. So that's why you engage with Black creators who are actually talking about real anti-racism and leftist topics instead. Because the white, non-binary, or even binary people are not always as educated as they claim to be.
right.
And they do things like that.
I mean, because after a certain point, they are just like getting so much money. So like, it's kind of like what you were telling me, like don't stop there, you know. And I feel like maybe they just like it's working for them. So what more do they want to
I definitely think it's
do?
working. It's working
Right.
a lot. It's
I
working a
feel
lot.
like it is, yeah, like time to. You're right. Like don't stop there. That's yeah. Okay, I'm gonna check all these people out. Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
thank you.
it.
Hope you have a
Also,
good
just want to
one.
recommend a book, Hood Feminism. I think all white women who claim to be feminists should read it. Hood Feminism.
It's one of my favorite books. I love it so much.
Right?
It's one of those that I'm.
Is it on Kindle? I'm a Kindle
It
girly
is.
I know
now.
It is
it's
on
audio
Kindle.
too.
I did first get the audiobook, and it was so good that I actually got the physical copy because I needed to take notes and scribble in it a little bit,
You
and I
are
do
that
that
person.
rarely. Oh God, no, I don't do this often. Hold on, I
I think
just want to
writing
make this
books is
really
like a
clear.
crime.
I do too. I take notes in like a notebook because it hurts me physically. Or I put it on a post-it and then I put it in the book.
I use little
Okay, so
tabs to tab lines. But Alina, I just have to hop off to go get my daughter. But I wanted to apologize for our interaction earlier. And I think that if you're down, I'd love to like have a conversation with you just one on one because I think like we have way more in common than we don't. Because I, definitely like have agreed with a lot of what you're, saying up here because I think we all, especially mostly primarily white people have just deconstructing to do. And like you're saying, I still struggle with internalized misogyny. I still struggle with, deconstructing my racism growing up in a small town and all that stuff. So definitely have a lot to work on there. I just
I've
don't
shot you
think
a follow. Like we can definitely have that conversation for sure. I think
awesome.
you might have just not seen like
Yeah.
because I think there were sometimes we were responding to like one comment when it was like
Yeah.
really attached to another one. So it was
Right.
like
Yeah, it was a misunderstanding, I think. And so I think that like I just want you to like know where I was coming from. I wasn't defending like any like, I wasn't it was mostly just like for me I look for people like if
yeah.
they are called out on something and they change their behavior, that's a sign for me of growth, right? Like to me, that's what I look for in a person. But I really am my mission right now with a couple of friends of mine. We are trying to platform women, the LGBTQIA community, you know what I mean? And really, hey Ari. And so that is like a mission. So I really do, like you're saying, like you can watch whoever you want, but also like focus on the women, focus on the BIPOC community, focus on the LGBTQIA plus community. Like those people for some reason are suppressed on this app and it just sucks. So
It's like it has to be an active choice, and I've realized that it's kind of
yeah.
crazy. But I would love to talk to you more on it because I think, I do love to see people's growth, but I feel like, that's kind of like bare minimum. Like
Oh,
like
sure.
oh
But
you were in a
yeah.
shit bag and you took criticism when in reality like that criticism, like, yes, it could be done genuinely, but also it's beneficial to his pocket to like appease his audience. So like there's a lot of layers to it. I just think that in general, like cis het white men should not be the face of like the left, period. I think even I shouldn't be the face of the left. It should be like Black men and women,
The
truly.
women, the people who've been actually creating change for us this entire time.
Yeah.
But no, I totally, and I understand where you're coming from. The shitty thing about this whole situation that we're in now is that we do need white men to stand up and speak up. Like we do need that, like because they're the ones that caused all these problems. So
No, and I'm down for that, but I still think that, you know, like I'm down for that as far as like, yes, the white men, they need to speak up. They need to be collecting their white men.
yeah,
Why
call them
why
out.
are the like why are the why are the crowd mostly like women, like stuff like that? Like what are we learning from a white man? Like we should be going to next, we should be leveling up. Like
Yeah.
there's not much for us to learn from a cis white man. Like we're like we should be in our lives learning about our internalized like misogyny or our transphobia or ableism, all that stuff. Like it's comfortable for us, and
Well,
that's something we have to work on.
I would say I don't look to them for that. When I do listen to them, I listen to
It's
them for like
subconsciously,
well,
I
but like,
think.
but I listen to them for like, because he has like Parker, for instance, he understands the economy like nobody else, right? Like he understands that because that's what his degree is in, and so like I listen to them for like their policy information and like the their economic information because they really do understand that like way better than I do. But I'm not going to look for them on how to deconstruct as a white person. You know what I mean? Like that's not like my
Not
thing.
from a liberal, please. For fuck's sake. Sorry. But
What's that? Oh,
take economic advice from a liberal, please.
Well, I mean, I like, do you know, well, you know, Chris, like Chris,
yeah.
I would say is a much better person
Yeah.
to like learn about the economy and stuff from and financial things and whatnot.
I think it's like more so like they understand the ins and outs of like how the policies affect our economy, right? Like they understand that really well. And so
I think there's a
all
better
kinds
there's
of
got to be a
people
better person out there for because
they
you
are
can be
really
book
good.
because right now they're the book smart. We cannot argue that they would at all be like street smart because they're too young to have that. Like they have not gone through struggle. Like they don't know. Like they haven't. You know, I
Well,
mean,
we
I don't
don't
know
know
if they
that
have,
though.
but like
We don't know that. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, right, like I know because of their skin, they have it easier than everyone else, right? Of course, that is a thing.
I mean, actual struggle, actual hardship, having their rights being stripped from them,
right,
having, you know, losing a house, losing a child, like, you know, having a, you know, having to say goodbye to a parent, like they might have some of those things, yes, but in general, they're
their life
not.
isn't harder because of the color of their skin. That's
Yes.
the rule for.
And I think those kinds of things and just going through life, like finishing college, getting your first job, dealing with coworkers, like having to get fired, like all these different things that make you a person as you get older. Like I'm 37, like I've gone through some shit. And so like I can relate to a lot more people and I can see things in a different way. And it's just not book smarts. I think the issue is a lot of times we get excited because the book smarts, it's very exciting, but like there's levels to it. And that's where the nuance comes in from like life experience.
No, definitely. And, but like, for instance, I have a 3.5-year-old and I learn things from her. You know what I mean? Like, I can learn things from anybody if I really, whether it's a good lesson, a bad lesson, you know what I mean? Like, I can learn something from everyone. And while they are book smart, that means I can learn book smart things from them, right? So it's not like, again, I'm not going to look to them for life experience. I'm not going to look to them for, how to deconstruct my racism or internalize misogyny. I'm not going to go to them for that stuff. But for somebody just to, listen to, but I think a part of deconstructing is what you're saying, look, reaching out for and looking out for those creators that do platform, like Steve on Facts. He platforms women, he platforms, the LGBTQIA community, like he is a white cis het man that does that. So like that is a positive thing. So like
but I would love to see him on other people's platforms.
Yeah, he comes up on ours a lot, like on mine. He'll sit and just like support just so that I can get more numbers, and just stay quiet on the panel. Like he's really, really cool about that. So, but
maybe if you are close to him, I would love to see him like on like an Erica and Ren's live or like,
he would 100%. Yeah, he definitely
like maybe you can encourage because I think that would be beneficial not just for his audience, but for their audience as well.
Yeah, he
I always
does. He
encourage
goes
people
up
to.
on all
Kiara, how
kinds.
did you get banned? Yeah, I got flagged for hate speech. So as soon as you jump
Oh
off, I'm gonna have to
no.
restart.
No. Oh no. Oh, I wonder what that was. Who was hate speeching? I wasn't hate speeching, were you? I don't neither was
Apparently, speaking about certain people is hate speech on this
Yeah.
app.
My friend Jess is really, and she just said in the comments, she's really close to Steve, and he platforms people of color, the BIPOC community. He platforms everybody. So
I know, but I want to see him on other people's platforms
I'm saying
because
that he uses his
yeah.
privilege to go onto other people's and
Okay,
boost
okay.
their algorithms. So yes, he does that with everybody. He's one of those. He's what I call like a safe white guy. You know what I mean? So, like
It makes me nervous when people say that.
Well,
I don't trust any white men, but
because I'm 4 years older than you, do I get to trump you on life experience then? Do you get
maybe,
do you have to respect me on my life experience?
maybe in certain things.
Okay, so I'm telling you, with my life experience, I have seen a lot of people, and Steve is somebody that I would consider a safe person.
Okay.
Like he's a really good guy in that terms, and he's been nothing but open and kind from what I've
All
seen.
right, I got to restart because I'm getting nervous.
Yeah,
But thank you for coming up. Yeah, message
for having
me
the
and we can have a conversation for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh, let me restart for the Twitchies. Aren't you guys proud of me that I remembered my age? I usually have to like count. Tap the screen, share the live. We are back. Just over here getting flagged for hate speech in. You got to protect that protected class of cishet white men. They are a protected class. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I wonder who this is.
It's you, Pookie Bear.
You need to stop hate speeching. Are you a mod or do I need to make you a mod?
Please.
I know, Drea. I know, Drea. I was like, I still don't trust white men. I don't think anyone should trust white men. Like, and white men should not take that offensively.
White people in general, I don't think are.
Oh yeah, don't trust me either. I'm a trifling.
Well, nobody's like safe. Just
Trifling
like
hoe.
there's no such thing as like safe men to save. There's no such thing as safe. Oh my fucking god! I have a stroke. There's no such thing as a safe man to a woman. There we go. Got it out eventually. Maybe cost some brain cells, but we got it.
Here, tap the screen, show live. What did you get flagged for?
Well, hate speech.
Oh, so you're the reason why my lab got flagged. You and all your hate speech when you were quiet half the time. That's
Like
crazy.
literally, I said, don't listen to a lib when it comes to economics.
Did you appeal it? I bet you it'll.
Yeah,
I bet
I
you it'll come
did. I
back fine.
did. Hopefully, yeah.
It'll come
But
back and it'll be like, actually, Alina, it was you.
you know what's funny too? That we literally tried to go live tomorrow. No, my account's gone.
We can use Crash Out. Or
Yeah, but that one doesn't pull. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
or you can. I mean, I can just set mine up, and then you can just. We'll figure it out. I'm sure your appeal. I'm sure your appeal is going to come back.
Yeah, I'm
But
certain.
we also have to get you like started on the backup.
Yeah, I do have like this backup. This one's like a shared one with Sean. Like Sean can use it anytime as well as me. They're ours.
Mhm.
But I'm very upsetty right now because I was like really looking forward. I have the topics. We already decided on that. I was starting on sources.
I think the
Brutal.
appeal's gonna come back.
Okay.
Everyone remember, think positively, y'all. Let's manifest this appeal for Kiara. So, okay, so this topic started hot and heavy. Yes, it is gonna come back approved.
I've made the best steak salad to this day. I have to send it to you. Hold on.
You say that every time. You've thought positive since 2016, or you haven't thought positive since 2016.
Check it out though.
Let me see. I love my use of the term meat grinder. I've never said it before. Oh, that is a beautiful steak salad.
I told you.
I don't like, what is that, prosciutto?
Mhm.
I don't like any of those weird hammy things,
Okay.
but everything else looks delicious. What kind of dressing is that?
I made a balsamic.
Mm.
Hi,
Hi.
I just had a question. This is my first year voting last year, and I voted for Kamala Harris or
Mhm.
Kamala. Sorry, I can't speak right now. I'm really nervous. Um, and with everything going on with all the airlines with Trump and how
Mhm.
he took out people working in those fields, I'm really worried because my boyfriend's going into that field, and I'm worried that it's just going to get harder on them in general because stuff is already, like in Chicago today, there was already almost within like a few minutes. And I'm just wondering, like, why are people shocked that this is happening? Like, he took out nearly half of everybody's, like, people to do this stuff. And I'm just really worried and confused.
I'm, I don't know what I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. Like,
Mm,
Kiara,
think it's gonna get better, or like, I don't know. I'm just really worried. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't blame you. Like, I'm at this point, I'm afraid to fly.
That's my whole thing because I was supposed to go somewhere this year, and now I'm like really scared, and I don't know what to do.
I don't know. Can you drive instead?
I would hope so, but it's gonna take a lot longer.
Or maybe take a train?
That actually could work. Ooh, okay. Thank you so much. I could
You're
leave
welcome.
now. I'm so sorry for
Have a good
taking up your
one. No,
time.
it's okay. Have a good one.
Thank-
I will never forgive you for that, Kiara.
Accidentally scrolled out.
Oh, yeah?
Actually, not me, but the milkworm.
Accidentally scrolled out.
Accidentally. With the milkworm.
That does not you don't accidentally scroll out because it asks you, do you want to leave alive?
Didn't. I promise you I can screen record it.
So are you going to screen record the past?
Well, I can screen record it again and doing it and show you that that's what happened.
And blaming on the milkworm is insanity.
I literally promise you that that's what happened. She put her arm up while I'm breastfeeding her, and she scrolled
She
out. She has that.
she would never scroll away
No, hold on.
from my live. Her titi? No.
Hola.
What's up?
Let's make it quick today. Are you guys like doing the white savior thing before you restarted? Let's make it quick. It sounded like you were like, "Oh, we don't need to listen to white men. White men should be the face of the left movement, and we should only listen to black and brown people and
How is
old
it the white
people."
savior thing? I've been saying that forever.
I mean, that's like the definition of white savior. I mean,
That's actually not the definition of white savior.
like we need to have like a black led movement because we don't need to listen to white people anymore and make sure that they you know get because they make the change, right? Listen to black and browns, guys, black and browns. That's what it sounded like. I'm just asking for clarification. That's what it sounded like. Who should be the leader of our movement? Because I'll join the left. I want a real left candidate. I've always said that. I want a real left candidate.
You're not on the left though. You don't believe in any leftist policies.
Yeah, I don't believe that we should elevate people based off their skin colors.
That's not a leftist policy.
That's funny because that's literally all your fucking right wing bullshit does. They lift you up because you're white. That's the only.
They,
That's literally the only reason.
sure.
So y'all are DAI as fuck. You are unqualified. You don't have any conceptual idea about politics or how to make people feel better. And the reason why they're in power is because they're white. So that's DEI.
How dare you? I love
Boom,
that.
roasted.
We want communism. Only women and trans people matter. That's your side, guys. Guys, where's the dinosaur egg? Come on.
Hey, Alina. I was just wanting to come up here and say real quick, frenemies, that your presence on this live is evidence that it's evidence of DEI. You are a DEI hire on this live. You know that, right?
Good. I guess.
I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. Because I requested and she accepted. That's like she accepted me because I'm white. Like if I was a
No,
black
she
person, she would
expected
deny me.
she expected you because you're her pet op. That's why. Because you're DEI hire.
I didn't know you had pet ops, Alina. That's weird. It's strange. I mean, I haven't been up here in weeks, so I mean, that's a weird pet to not come around for weeks.
Yeah, I just find it so strange how you like to try to play both sides. I don't know.
I don't know what side I'm playing.
Yeah,
I literally just came
clear
up here and asked, "Are we just playing the white savior thing?" Like, there's no side there. I'm just asking their opinion because that's what it seemed like they were doing. Thank you for the chilies.
I think it's more sign that we can see that when black people, specifically black trans men, do things, they get your rights. When white people do things, they remove your rights. So it's yeah. I mean, if you don't want to get married, that's fine.
Who Marsha P. I know who that is. Drea Johnson. We just fumigate it. Not well, I guess. Fumigate it. Not well enough, I guess. Yeah, I pander to white men. Good one.
You do pander to white men?
Yeah, that's for sure. No, I don't have mommy issues. You know you can spell gay right and not get in trouble.
Sorry, y'all. My mom came to drop off food. What did I miss?
Nothing.
Not
Just
much.
chat. Just reading chat. Chat is so hateful. I love it. I live for it. Frenemies is a traitor.
You are a traitor.
I do love the show Traitors. It's my favorite show. I just uploaded a video of it. I love Traitors.
Hello?
Oh, wow.
How old are you, Kyle?
24.
What year were you born?
2000, December 10th.
Okay. What do you
So,
have to say on the topic?
just wondering, I mean, why are you assuming that we're white supremacists?
Who's we?
I mean, I feel like you guys are just making shit up. You're just trying to find anything to be oppressed about. Like, it's not that deep. Never has been.
Are you a liberal?
I'm a centrist.
So then why are you responding to this comment? Like, why are you requesting to this? Are you
I'm
a
just fed
lib?
up with this idea that just because somebody's black or something, we have to join their lives. Why can't people just watch what they enjoy? That's what I want to know.
You can, but you would just be a meat rider for white supremacy. Like,
That's just
okay.
shaming people. You're putting labels on people for no reason.
Does
Wait,
that make
Kyle,
you
do
Wait,
uncomfy?
let's.
Does that make you sad?
Sorry? I'm non-binary, so my pronouns are they, by the way. So,
Kyle, do you feel attacked
because I don't know why the people are saying
by,
he in
by
this
the
comment.
background?
I don't feel attacked at all. I think the host
Wait,
is
if you
jealous
don't feel
because
attacked, then why did you
Parker and
come up here and
Dean,
start victimizing
people
yourself?
enjoy watching Parker and Dean better than you, and that's just the tea. Clock it, sis.
Wait, did the background say you can't watch Parker or Dean?
Isn't this supposed to be an argument as to why we're not meat riders just because
No, does the background say you can't watch Parker or Dean?
It doesn't say that, but isn't this supposed to be a
Oh.
debate, sir?
What does the background say?
Libs, why? I don't need to repeat it. I know what it says. Okay.
Right, it says, why are you meat riders for white supremacy? It doesn't say that you can't go and watch Parker or Dean.
I don't meat ride.
It
I
just
just
says
enjoy.
you
I
meat
think they
ride
have something
for
better to
white
offer.
supremacy.
I think they have something.
I just think hit dogs holler, and you're hollering quite loud right now, Kyle.
They have something to offer because you are interested and white supremacy appeals to you.
So
that's fine.
they
It's not.
literally
I
don't
mean,
counter.
it's not
They
everyone's
don't.
flavor. It's not
They
my
don't even
favorite
talk
flavor of
about
donut.
that. They don't even talk about that. They are against that kind of stuff.
They don't need to talk
They
about it.
call
What do you?
Trump one. They call Trump one. How are they some like? Make it make sense, sweetheart. Come on.
Mm-hmm. So if they don't say, "I'm a white supremacist,"
They're actively talking against them,
as
though.
long as they don't say that, that means that they're not upholding white supremacy.
But if they're talking against white supremacy, isn't that?
They are not the faces to be talking against white supremacy. They are cishet white men.
It's never enough.
Kyle,
See?
Kyle, I
never.
have a question for you.
What's that?
You said you're non-binary, right?
Yes, I am.
I'm non-binary also. Listen, I enjoy watching Parker and Dean, but I also watch many other lives too. But I can tell you that there's one thing that bothers me a lot about Parker and Dean's lives, and it's that until recently, the majority of the time, it's two cishet white men speaking on queer issues. Does that not bother you, or?
I mean,
Because
if you want to speak about queer issues, why are we demonizing them?
okay, no. It's not about demonizing them, but have you not noticed that they're speaking about queer issues from a point of view that they very clearly don't get queer issues? Because if you understand that they very clearly don't get queer issues because they're cishet, then you understand why they're not the people to be talking against white supremacy.
So what you're saying is it's a lose-lose situation. If they don't talk about it, they are, they're bigots, they're this and that. If they do, then they are just, they don't know what it's
No,
like here. What would you like them to do?
the appropriate thing to do in that situation is to center the person who it actually is about, for example, wait. I would appreciate for you to not interrupt me. Thank you. As I was saying, here recently, they have started pulling Santana up on their live and they have started pulling Kale up on their live. That's a great thing to do because they should center the people who the conversations are about instead of talking about those people like they're not in the room. However, people who come onto the panel to watch only Dean and Parker often should whatever they bring up to talk on behalf of the communities that they are talking about.
This is
Because
why
they
the
just want
left
to hear
eats the
Parker
left.
and Dean talk about it.
This is why the left eats the left, because you guys can never
Ding
be
ding ding
consistent.
ding.
So we're
You
not allowed. So we're not allowed to
No, it's not
criticize
that
our
you're
own
allowed.
side.
It's the fact
Just
that
say you don't want to be better and move on.
no, it's not about that. It's the fact
It
that
is
like it
about
just
that.
seems like nobody can do anything right anymore. Like
Okay,
there's
well,
always something somebody's demonizing. Like if somebody
Kyle, then
prefers a different
explain to
creator,
me
they're
the.
racist. Like it's so beyond
Sure.
me.
I
Okay,
mean,
Kyle,
saying the N word is pretty racist. So like,
I said the N word.
no, but Dean did.
no.
Oh, when he was 14. I
I've
didn't
never
even.
said it.
I've never said it
You
either.
you
But
go
he's
through my old tweets.
a
You'll never find
child,
that
you
shit.
know.
Mm-mm.
So,
I'm
so
not
let
Kyle,
me
gonna
ask you a
speak
question:
on
Do
that
people not have the
conversation. I'm
chance
And I
to?
don't
sorry.
think it was when he
Are
was
people
14.
not
It wasn't that
redeemable?
long ago. I thought it was
Are
like 6 months ago.
are people not redeemable anymore in life? Are we just?
yeah.
People could be redeemable, but they shouldn't be the face of a movement when they were just racist like six
I
months
mean, that's a
ago.
good point. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. There shouldn't be like
You don't agree with me
hypocritical.
because you think that you like I like watching them and they have something better to offer than you do. So like there it
Well,
is.
listen, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, you should have the same platform that they have, realistically. But at the same time, are we going to demonize them for having the platform that they have?
I'm not demonizing them.
Doing that.
That's why this doesn't say uh
You're demonizing the
any of their
people who support
names.
them. Then.
Yes, because the people that support them are the ones that are pushing that platform and pushing the algorithm to further like extrapolate that.
So would
Like
you
We
say?
have to make active choices to choose more marginalized voices. And I'm not even saying myself, I don't think I should be the face of a movement either. Um, but uplifting these people,
Who
we are making the
determines
active
who's
choices.
marginalized
right.
and who's not?
So, but
Let's be clear here. Let's be clear here that nobody here is necessarily saying that Parker and Dean are white supremacists for talking on the subject. What we are saying is that white supremacists have a habit of choosing to watch Parker and Dean talk about these issues instead of the marginalized communities that are actually affected by the issues that they're talking about, which can be seen by the fact that people like Santana don't have even half to as many followers, but are just as competent of debaters, if not better.
And
sure,
he brings up Santana, but
sure,
do they go on his platform?
No.
sure. You know, you're raising a good point.
Exactly.
I have a
Because
question
it's
though.
not because they benefit from bringing Santana
I have a
up
question
because
though in
then they no
regards.
longer get called out and then they can make more money off of being able to use to talk on that
Now
topic,
it's a
exploit
problem that they
Santana's
bring up
labor.
Santana.
Yeah.
Now it's a problem. I thought you said it was a good thing they brought up Santana. Now it's a bad thing.
I didn't say that there was a good
So
thing.
it's either an indifferent thing or it's a good or bad
Let
thing.
me
Denise,
ask you.
like why are
Sorry,
you even
sorry, wait,
here?
wait.
You're
With
not
what
here
I
to have a
heard,
genuine
can I just
conversation.
hypothetically? Let me just ask this
Like
question. Sorry to interrupt. So, if you would you say if somebody you asked somebody a question and you said, "Do you prefer Taylor Swift over Beyonce?" and they said Taylor Swift, would you consider them a white supremacist in your definition?
That's not analogous.
Yeah, no.
No, because I'm just saying, like, if some people prefer white content creators to
Well, no, I
black content
understand what you're
creators instead
saying,
of
but
Okay,
it's not
okay. Let
there's
analogous.
me
something to well, I mean, there just what you just said right now. There's something to unpack there. Why you prefer to hear about these marginalized issues from a white person.
okay, so you're saying it's not really um
Why is it more palatable for you to hear it from a white person? That's something that we all have to unpack as white people. Well, I'm assuming you're right. I'm sorry.
I am actually Indian,
Okay,
East Indian.
my
So
apologies.
it's okay. I'm just wondering. This is this solely based on a political kind of standpoint, or is it based on like, for example, like if you prefer different singers over different, would you say that's considered white supremacy?
There could be white supremacy underlying in that as well.
Yes, I would
It
just
just
straight
depends
up
on
say
why you
yes.
prefer.
Because for
So
one,
you'd say
I would straight up say
okay.
yes. Because for one thing, we can see for one, the branding of Taylor Swift has a lot to do with white tea feminism, and she strongly aligns her art with white tea feminism, whereas Beyonce does a lot of centering of Black culture.
I'm
But
not
what
saying
if
that they
someone
are
just
only
simply
for
prefers their
those
music?
races of people. But if you're saying they prefer one over the other, there are underlying reasons to that. There's also the fact that Beyonce is like unequivocally more talented. Like that's not an opinion, that is a fact.
No, because let me ask you, what if someone just prefers Taylor Swift's music, her storytelling through her music over Beyonce, and they have
What
no, there's no other
storytelling? I'm
there's,
sorry.
there's a lot of storytelling, and there's no connotations
There's
behind it.
not.
It's
But
literally
that's just a
like
preference.
breakup after breakup after breakup,
See,
cry,
then this
cry,
Beyonce's talked
cry.
about
isn't even
racism in
It's very
America,
like
so
Taylor Swift's music. I mean, Taylor Swift's music is very, very childish.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that's an
G Snooks,
opinion.
for sending subs,
That's an
it's
opinion.
which is
oh, I
fine for the
gotta talk to
children, but
you.
she's also at this point she's a grown woman.
Well, you know that whiteness has been centered in our society and all the things that align with it. So Taylor Swift is this typical face of whiteness, and that's what you've been trained to feel, to like, and to find appealing, especially as white people. I mean, it starts in childhood. I don't know if you ever heard of the doll study. They have shown essentially a black doll and a white doll to little children, and they were supposed to tell the scientists what their emotions are regarding them. And oftentimes the black doll was labeled as ugly, as bad, etc. And it just shows that we have this inherent bias against black people and this inherent racism against black
I'm
people.
not talking about someone's looks. I'm simply talking about if someone prefers.
No, it's not just looks. I just said like that's just an example of it. But her whiteness, like also how she sings, what she sells, like what she stands for, and how she, like how she's perceived by us, it is because she is the definition of whiteness.
But that's not. I don't think that's a sole reason why people would like her just because she's white. I mean, maybe for some people, but to say that that's just across the board, everyone just prefers Taylor Swift over Beyonce because she's white.
Yeah, but
Ridiculous.
you're trained to like her because of that, like in general. Like
The
that's like
left center Taylor Swift the last 3 years.
I don't care. I'm not a liberal.
It's the left that
Frenemies.
does
Like we're
this.
talking about.
If
Like,
you guys
if you,
censor
I
people,
think that left people are also fucking racist. Shocker. Okay, we're all white people are racist. Okay,
all
so
white people are racist.
me finding like people like the way I perceive the world is because of white supremacy because I'm a white person. Period. So I'm not gonna sit here and deny that the reason why I like certain artists over others or why I prefer certain art, certain fashion is because not because of white supremacy. That's had always been centered. Whiteness is always considered as the standard of beauty, as the center of civilized society, as culture. That's always been centered in
Taylor's
everybody's
ugly.
life. And that would be a lie if you say differently.
Taylor's ugly.
Okay, that's
What does
like,
that have to
you
do
don't
with
get the
anything,
point.
frenemies? That has nothing to do
The
with
center of
anything.
she ain't the center of whiteness. She ain't the center of
He
but
is.
becoming a billionaire.
He
off
is
of
the
music.
okay. Like if you ask a white supremacist, what is your ideal? Fair skin,
Taylor Swift,
blonde,
no
blue
tatas, no
eyes,
buttocks.
woman, big tits, round ass. Like that is exactly what Taylor Swift.
Well, majority of people would say Beyonce is more beautiful than Taylor Swift. Let's be real.
no, they don't.
Of
Because she's
course,
a black
I know
woman.
that y'all are not
No,
hearing me.
she's
I
a
mean,
black
I'm not
woman. They would
speaking. I'm
not.
not speaking French right now. I think everybody else is trying. Like, I don't know if you're actively trying to misconstrue what I'm saying right now, frenemies. But it's very
She's not the
clear
center of
that
anything.
within
Little
white
girls.
supremacy,
The
there's
center
certain
of
beauty
children's
standards, and Taylor Swift absolutely meets those beauty
She
standards. And you're
created
lying if you
music
say
for
otherwise.
children, and she's the center of children. That's what she is, not of white
No,
supremacy.
she's not. Yes, she
Like,
is the
you
center
guys
of white
are crazy.
supremacy.
This is what is the problem with the left. You guys want to do these like
Yeah,
little
you're
itty-bitty
crazy.
attacks on
If you don't think that Taylor Swift portrays white supremacist ideologies and beauty standards, you're on crack. Like
I
you're
mean, she
actually
literally
on
was
crack.
just dating a Yahtzee, and her fans didn't care. So
I
who's
know.
a Yahtzee? Which
Right.
one's
Like
Matthew
literally,
Healy, who says he's a Yahtzee.
I don't know who the hell that is.
Yeah, okay,
they were
frenemies, we don't
literally
talk.
cheering. They were literally cheering on this relationship, cheering for Taylor, saying stuff against Trump. But then, as soon as Travis Kelce says, "Oh, I'm so glad I'll have the president at my football game," she didn't say shit.
Travis Kelce, the man that cosplay as black when he was with a black woman,
that
but then switched to looking like a white farmer when he was with Taylor Swift. That Travis Kelce.
I'm gonna be honest. I prefer Taylor Swift's music over Beyonce's. Her music in
Because
general,
you don't
just
want
to
to hear
me.
about Black women's struggle in America, and that's what
No, that's
Beyonce
not true.
sings about.
The beat, I
This
like the
ain't
beat.
Texas. Did it. Like, I don't want to hear
Come on,
that. It's
guys.
boring.
Anyways, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's boring hearing a Black woman talk about her experience
No,
as
why
someone
do you
from
think it's
Texas
not
who
about
isn't
race?
allowed to
It's not about
experience herself as a
race.
country artist. Yeah, that's boring.
There we go. It took the Texas song to get me out of here.
Deserved.
It took the
I hope
racism to
you
get you out of
rot.
here.
Wait,
Like
is that
fucking
for
rot.
frenemies or for Kyle?
Pretty
Oh,
sure.
You
That's what I was about to say.
Chris,
Alidria.
Chris,
Well, Kyle, so
Demi.
you didn't hear anything that I said.
I did hear what you said.
No, you didn't, because you said, "Oh, I just like it though." Like, as if you're like anything around you doesn't influence you, like your perception of things doesn't it's not influenced by society. That's just incorrect.
But Char, Taylor Swift said, but what if we woke up in the 1950s, but with all the racism and stuff? And that to them
Hold on,
is
how did you
award
go?
winning.
What did you just call
She
me?
said, what if we just woke up in the 1950s, but without all the racism and stuff?
That's
That's
not
an
what the
actual
song said. The
lyric.
song said, I wish we could go back, but without all the races. If I went there, I'd hate it. It wasn't fun now. It looks like it was never even fun back then. She's trying to say she would like to live in a certain time frame. Like, when people say we're born in the wrong era, like, you just feel like you're just not.
Yeah, those are
Babe, I
racist
know what the
white women
line was. It was
usually.
stupid. I'm a Black woman. I understand what the line meant. It was stupid.
So Bridgerton, people
Yeah.
wanting to be born in Bridgerton time where, like, majority of the cast is black. That's
No,
racist.
I think Bridgerton is stupid.
Bridgerton, you know that Bridgerton is fiction, right?
I also think
Of
Hamilton is
course. But if
stupid.
someone has an imagination, like they would wish they could live in a time era where black people were liberated and all that kind of stuff, like
Okay,
why is that a wrong
but
thing?
even okay, so you missed the point of Bridgerton if you think that black people are liberated in Bridgerton, because literally the whole point of Bridgerton is that prior to Queen Charlotte marrying her husband, that black people were not liberated. That's literally the whole point of the show. The whole point of the show is to specifically talk about like the background of the show. The fact that there are so many black cast is to specifically talk about the fact that that black people are oppressed.
So
That's
let me ask you
specifically
a
what it's
question.
for.
Let me ask you a question. Would you not like to live in a time where, for example, there was more, less phones and all this stuff, but you were like just an imaginative time. Like, for example, I imagine I ride on a dragon. It's not real, but I could imagine that.
I like to live in a time where people acknowledge that Taylor Swift dates many racists and literally promotes a lot of racism. Like
isn't the
that
best
time where
either.
she
He's not the best person either.
Okay, but you're talking about fiction, Kyle. You're not talking about real life time. You're not talking about a time period that has existed here on planet Earth. You're talking about a non-fiction, a fiction world. So, like, I don't know what you're trying to get at, because Taylor Swift wasn't talking about a fiction world. She was talking about the real world and said, but only if it wasn't racist. But by inherently by saying, oh yeah, I wish I lived during that time, like Taylor Swift is exactly who would have benefited from living in that time. Do you not get that?
You're taking it for too literally. Her lyrics are not meant to be construed like that. It's clearly she's trying to say that she was born in the wrong era. She wants to, like, it's just the song's called "I Hate It Here." She hates it where she currently is.
Wait,
No
babe,
racism.
I know what the song is about. Also,
Yeah.
did you bring up Jay-Z when I was bringing up Jay-Z who groomed Beyonce? So her groomer?
No, that's
I'm not gonna blame her for her groomer's actions. No.
Okay. Well, I guess agree to disagree here.
Agree to disagree on what? You agree? You blame victims for their abusers' actions?
I never said that. See, this is what happens to you guys. Put
You
words
said
in
agree to
people's
disagree,
mouths.
so I'm asking
Put
you
words
what
in
we're
people's
agreeing to
mouths.
disagree
You
on.
call them bigots. You say all.
I'm asking you what we agree to disagree on.
I'm saying I agree to disagree. I just think Taylor Swift's I just prefer Taylor Swift's music over Beyonce. I agree to disagree on that.
Oh, because you like white mediocrity. We know that. Yes.
Okay.
I'll
Sorry
be
for
saying
having an
Beyonce
opinion.
anyway, though. Cannot relate.
So just because someone performed,
No one's saying that you can't listen to Taylor Swift or you can't like it better. It's just you need to like just accept what it means, and that's fine. You could be like, okay, fine.
You prefer someone like cannot hit a high note, who cannot dance. That is what
I
you
like
prefer.
her music. I like her lyrics. I like her albums. I like everything about
She
it.
didn't even write as well either.
Sure, it
being
might be
real.
basic to you. What's basic to you might be something
Hey,
to someone else.
hey, Kyle.
Nostalgic for me personally.
I'm just curious.
Can you name even one black artist, any kind of black artist that you like as much as Taylor Swift? Can you name one single
Rihanna.
one?
Rihanna.
Okay, that took you quite a while.
But
What?
Rihanna hasn't put out an album in what, how many years?
Also
I
that.
like.
Also, Beyonce sings better than Rihanna, so that's kind of crazy.
That's your opinion.
That's
I'm
not an
just
opinion. That's
confused
objective
on how we
fact.
got
So
to
I find it hard to
Taylor
believe that
Swift
you're
and
like
Beyonce.
that like you're the only black creator that you think of is the only black artist is like
And
you're
you're telling me
playing
that?
Rihanna bops from 2012.
No, I'm saying is in general. Rihanna's just. I like her as an artist. I think she's one of my favorite artists. There's plenty of black singers that I
I mean,
admire.
I
And I
love
think.
Rihanna. Don't get me wrong. Don't yell at me, Chad. I love Rihanna, but
Oh, I
also
love
like
Rihanna too.
there's
It's just
you know
objective facts.
I also.
Like
I
how
also like.
MJ is objectively the best artist, even though I don't like MJ and what MJ's done, but he's still objectively the best artist for that generation.
Okay.
There's objective fact.
I would not deny that.
If you like Rihanna, if you like Rihanna as much as you
I
like
like Lauren. I like Lauren Hill. She's one of my favorite artists.
Lauren Hill doesn't like you.
if you like Rihanna as much as you like Taylor Swift, then why don't you quote us a Rihanna lyric right now, the way that you did with the Taylor Swift lyric?
what's
Sure.
your favorite Fuji song?
Fuji? I don't know who Fuji is. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
But you like Lauren Hill. Shut up. This is why Lauren Hill doesn't like you. Oh, that's why Lauren
Anyways,
Hill
guys, I
literally
gotta
said he doesn't
go.
like white
I gotta go. It
women.
was nice chatting.
Lauren Hill was or Fuji was the group
Have a
that
great day.
Lauren Hill
Fuji's,
was a
yeah.
part of.
They ran.
But how did we get to Taylor Swift and Beyonce?
They brought it up.
Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, same thing with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. It points out every day how they'll excuse white women or white men who do objectively racist things in front of our face and do white mediocrity in order to, downscale an objectively amazing black woman and her accomplishments. Yes, Angel Reese. I said that to the comments. Sorry, Lena.
Also, there's nothing wrong if you like as long as you acknowledge that's mediocre music. There's lots of mediocre music that I listen to that I fucking love. But I'm not gonna say that that's better than Beyonce or some other artist. Sometimes I just want to shake my butt.
I absolutely love that.
And I don't really care about substance, so
I love that the
I have stuff for that. Sometimes I want to cry, and I don't really care about it being too deep.
The interpretation was to, oh, I guess we could listen
Just
to
skin
white
deep.
musician. Like that's
Skin deep only.
that's always the dumbest thing ever, that you say, hey, I have like some valid criticism how white supremacy works and how it shapes our taste and our culture, etc. Oh, I guess I can listen to white people anymore, like white artists. Like, yeah, exactly. Don't ever listen to a white person ever again. Never. That's exactly what we were saying.
Well, and to be clear for frenemies and for the chat, whenever we're talking about Santana being on Parker and Dean's life, first of all, I will give Parker a little bit of credit because he did go on Santana's brunch with a creator thing and boost Santana that way.
That
But
was
it's
a favor
clearly...
to Santana.
I'm sorry?
That was a favor to Santana.
Yeah.
Like because they're friends. Like
right. My thing is like we're talking about
and it was a show that was all about him. So
right.
like that's a benefit to him.
Right. It's dozens upon dozens of times that Santana has come up on Parker's live, and you will never see Parker on Santana's like actual show, his actual show, which promotes him, even one time. I haven't seen him there one time. I'm there on Santana's live all the time. I've never seen him once. It's not necessarily that anybody is saying that Parker and Dean are white supremacists. It's just that their platform raises up white supremacy.
Also, people keep saying, like, we keep saying Parker and Dean. It's not just the Parkers and Deans.
Right.
There's the Chris's, the Harrys, like any of these like cishet white male creators that are becoming the face of these movements. And someone in the chat said, has he asked him?
Yes, actually,
but also like you shouldn't have to you shouldn't have to ask.
The only
Santana
time
has
I
never
have
asked me to go onto his platform.
Right.
Eric and Ren have never asked me to go onto their platform.
Well, and also on top of that, like the only time I've seen Dean or Parker anywhere near Late Nights with Santana or sparring with Santana or anything like that was the one time that everybody ganged up on, who was it? Zach, Liam, I don't know, whoever
Zach,
it was.
yeah.
I think Dean made an appearance for 2 seconds. He didn't even turn on his camera. He wasn't there long enough to draw in any of his crowd for Santana's show. So that's the point that we're making, is that Parker and Dean's lives platform white supremacy, even if they don't mean to, just by the nature of them being white and not platforming more queer creators, more black creators.
So someone said, I don't know, Parker's shy, so he wouldn't just pop in or even ask. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, he's not shy.
He doesn't need permission. He
He's
can
not-
just go into the request.
He's literally not shy. He hosts lives of him doing one-on-one debates, which is much more intimidating than being like one box of like 10, because you don't really necessarily have to talk much. He could literally just sit there quietly just to boost Santana's platform. Talking to complete strangers. In my opinion, talking to a complete stranger one-on-one is much more intimate and much more intense and would be harder for someone that's shy. Y'all need to stop infantilizing a grown person if you want to say he's a grown person. Now, if we want to say that he's a child, then again, we go back to the conversation of why are we spending time hanging out with children as grown adults. That's also weird. So whichever way you want to go with it. But and I think if we need to also consider, why are none of these people are paying your rent, y'all? Like, why are we defending people that we don't know so much? I don't understand that.
Well, my dad pays my rent.
I don't defend any men. I don't defend my boyfriend. I don't defend my stepfather. I don't defend my brother. I actually actively tell everyone to avoid my brother. Love you to him.
Well, I feel like ultimately, what do men need us to defend them for? Like, people ride for the patriarchy just as much as they ride for white supremacy. Like,
Well, the patriarchy is a white supremacy includes the patriarchy. This patriarchy upholds it. Anywho, Baby Castro, are you a meat writer for white supremacy?
Have you ever seen me over there? Or anywhere?
I just wanted to say meat writer. Okay. I've never said it so much in my life.
well, Alina, thank you so much for having me up. I'm gonna go ahead and drop. I appreciate you bringing me up. I don't know why Frenemies was just getting me a little bit heated earlier.
I don't understand why.
Because I just feel like he comes up
I know.
here and
I'm just messing. I'm just messing with you. Like,
he just drives me crazy.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up. Hope you have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
If anyone wants to have a conversation on this background, especially if you want to talk about like communism, I know Kiara would love to talk the fuck out of communism.
Hell yeah. If you're a lib, why? Why are you a capitalist? Explain to me. If you claim to be progressive, why are you still a liberal?
Do you think Taylor Swift's better than Beyonce?
Oh no. Well, actually, I could turn that into a communist debate. I have this talent. I can all tie it back to patriarchy, communism, racism, ableism, transphobia. I can do it, okay? Because it is, okay? There's always a root. you defend capitalism while you're communist, well then you're not a communist, Pookie Bear. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call it as is, because usually I hate when people are like, you're not a true communist if you didn't vote in the election, or if you did vote in the election, like shit like that. I hate that. Or if you have a certain branch of communism. But if you're gonna say you're gonna defend capitalism, well, the point of being a communist is being anti-capitalist. Like that's the sole purpose. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm sorry. Like, you're confused. Politically confused. Actually, I would love to hear this right now.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Okay, so first of all, you do understand that Marx also defended capitalism.
How?
I love when people
Do
start
you mean
sentences with
how?
"you do understand."
Yeah.
So
Like how?
condescending.
Like
In the
how? What do you
first,
mean?
in the Communist Manifesto, for example, Marx talks of the bourgeoisie as a revolutionary class that expanded the limits of our production capabilities and therefore brought more well-being towards the people in
Yeah.
general. Marx actually
Yeah,
believes
but
that the bourgeoisie
I
are
mean,
not.
if you look at, if you look at what exactly was expanding like the like the well-being of the people, it was slavery. The reason why we're well off is because we're exploiting not only the global south, but back in the days it was obviously black people, and now we're still doing it. But I mean, I'm talking about chattel slavery.
Karl Marx did not defend capitalism. And the part that you're
Yeah.
referring to, he said that it would become stagnant and turn into socialism. And he also said that capitalism drives out the working class and only benefits the people that are making the money at the top.
Yeah, sure. And he
That's
also
not
said
defending capitalism.
that capitalism is the best system at providing wealth for, well, the general population, and
No, he did not. What are you
this
talking
is
about?
undeniable.
No, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
That would
Oh,
literally go
so
against everything that he was writing about. So why would he even say that?
how would that go against anything here?
Because
Actually,
he was a
do you know
communist, and all he did was criticize capitalism.
what the Capital, his book, Das Capital, is not about communism. It's about dissecting capitalism and finding out why it works, how it works, to change it and make it better, which would
No,
be
not at
the
all.
posterior stage.
His book criticized capitalism, and then in the book it states that capitalism will become stagnant and turn into socialism and eventually communism.
Yeah, he also believed that we should bring capitalism to its limit because capitalism is great at generating wealth.
No, he
And
did not believe that. Why are you sitting up here lying?
okay,
Like we
sure.
all have.
Let me just look it up real quick just to see if I'm the one lying.
I have the manifesto too, so if you tell me the page, I'll pull it up. I'll read it to the class. That Marx is pro-capitalism. No. Well, you know what? I've actually heard it all.
I mean, Marx.
We heard a centrist MB today, and now we're having a pro-capitalism Marxist. Okay, so go ahead, tell me.
Okay, just let me find the precise quote. This is in the manifesto, not in the Capital.
Okay. What a time to be alive.